Summon Sign is brought to you by you. If you want to learn how to support our show, go to patreon.com/laststandmedia. Hello everyone, welcome to episode 76 of Summon Sign Last Stand Media's weekly in-depth gaming discussion podcast. I'm your host as always, Brad Ellis, and it's a special week this week. The first ever in-person episode of Summon Sign. I got my boy here, Dustin Furman. Dustin, hello.
Brad, this is so weird.
Yeah.
I was telling you before we started recording, I think the Dukes have recorded in person before.
Mm-hmm.
Ben and I recorded in person before. But this is the first, one of the first times in person. So feels cool. We are coming from my
dining room,
dining room table. Feels good. We got a little bit of this broke ass setup.
Yeah.
So fits the bill, but it feels good. We've been here hanging out since
When'd you get
Wednesday.
Here? Wednesday night. Yeah.
I was telling Brad on the way. When we were on the way to Summer Game Fest today, I'm like, I feel like I kind of live here now because I've been here so long. But going home tomorrow, this is the last thing on the bill.
Yeah.
Is this podcast, doing it in person. So feels good.
Yeah. I'm tired, but a good way.
Oh, yeah.
Nonstop action these past couple of days.
Nonstop action, a lot of craziness. And Brad, since we're recording on my Mac, I want to show you something real quick. I got this set up. We can do these backgrounds.
Whoa.
Pretty nice.
Wow, pretty nice. Also,
I think I use this on a sacred once. So yeah, we'll turn that off. But we just ate In-N-Out.
Mm-hmm.
Feels good.
Yeah, with my parents, that was cool.
With your parents, that was fun.
Maybe they'll pop in. We'll see.
Maybe they'll pop in. Whoa.
We'll see.
Mama and Papa Ellis on the pod.
Yeah, that'd be
sick. Bring them in.
Yeah.
So, but yeah, thank you again for having me. These last few days, we've had a ton of fun together. It's been very busy, as we were saying.
Yeah.
But I'm glad we could do this. And thank you guys out there, of course, whether you're on Patreon or on YouTube, for supporting us being able to do Summer Game Fest this year.
Yeah.
That's been a big thing, is that outside of like the Dukes and stuff like that, we haven't done any kind of media events as Last Stand pretty much. Maybe calling back years ago, but it's been a long time.
Yeah.
So, and it's been a long time for me too. I was telling you, I haven't been out here since 2019 for the last E3. So to be back at a gaming event, it's been really cool.
Yeah, it has been nice. It's been really, really fun to do it as LSM. I've really enjoyed it. It's awesome. I took last year off, so it was kind of weird getting back in the swing of things, but it felt good, man. It felt good to get out there and play some games, talk to some people. And shout out to everyone who came up to us and said hi.
Oh, yeah.
At SGF. Yeah. That was awesome. A lot of cool people out there. So thank you guys for the support, all that good stuff. Oh, but yeah, we're going to talk about everything that we played there that we can talk about.
Right.
And we're going to talk about SGF in general and just some of our thoughts with Switch 2. Like, honestly, we've only gotten to play a little bit of Switch 2, or at least I have. And, because we've just been working the entire time. We're busy. By the time we get home, we're just like exhausted. Go to sleep.
I've snuck in a little bit of Mario Kart like before bed, and I'll start playing, and it's like I'm just complete ass.
Yeah. We're just beat.
But I'm excited because I have a 4.5-5 hour flight tomorrow.
Yeah.
So I'm gonna be a fucking dork.
Yeah. What was the game you bought too?
Rune Factory.
Rune Factory. That's right.
Yeah. The only weeb offering.
Yeah.
Well, I guess there's
Do you have it nearby? Show him the case, dude.
Oh no, it's in the room.
Fuck.
Yeah, it's in the room. Sorry. But Ad and Bravely Default are the only like
Bravely
games.
Default. Yeah.
Yeah.
Cool game, dude. I wish I had time to play it again. I played on 3DS and I liked it, but just no time, man. Liza P DLC came out.
Right, dude.
I
keep forgetting about that. It feels like a million years ago.
I know.
When I was in person at the Keeley.
Yeah, the birthday party.
Mm-hmm. It was okay.
Yeah.
It was fun being in person, being in the room again.
Yeah.
You know, But it was okay.
It was funny. We were talking about this. I was like, yeah, I'm not going to go because I'm going to stream it at home like that. And I told you way in advance. Funny thing is, I fell asleep and I just woke up like halfway during the thing. And I was like, well, I'm not going to stream it. So sorry, Keely.
Yeah.
But yeah, we're going to talk about all of our stuff. But first, if you want to support us, go to patreon.com/laststandmedia. You can get ad-free access to all of our shows, early access to all of our shows. How many days early is this show? I can't remember.
This show is 3.
3 days early.
No, not this week.
Not this week, yeah, because we're changing the date for embargo stuff like that. But you can get the show early and all that good stuff. You can write into the show, all of our other shows, Finding Duke, our Xbox podcast, of course, Sacred Symbols, all that good stuff. Sacred Symbols Plus, lots of good stuff. What was the last thing that came out there? I can't remember.
The last thing that came out was Moriarty Cross Jaffe.
Cross Jaffe, that's right. Yeah. Okay, yeah.
Hold on, I gotta take this.
Chaos.
I had this earbud in to try to monitor audio. Can't do it.
Can't do it.
No,
yeah.
we got a raw dog.
Yeah, it's just too weird.
Oh, and by the way, thanks everybody for all the gay jokes. We appreciate it.
Yeah, we got one right off the bat. We'll get
a lot of that. Mm-hmm. Yeah, keep it up, I guess.
Keep it. Yeah, I think, Sacred Symbols Plus, if you check it out, there was one with Colin Neil Druckmann, which was cool. Mm-hmm. Got to interview him on that stuff. I can't recall what else at the top of my head. There was a Exhibition 33 spoiler cast recently.
Yep.
The first one. We're going to do another one just because so many people played it. Right. So lots of good stuff if you're interested. So check that out. All right. Oh, yeah. If you want some merch, go to laststandmedia.store. You can get some like stickers for all of our shows. Those are free shipping, by the way. You got some shirts, sweatshirts.
Right.
Do we have stand down merch still?
No, that was limited.
Damn.
But speaking of limited, Brad, while we have time to chill for a moment, we are releasing the Habroxia special edition. If you listen to Sacred, and I think there was a post on Patreon about it, we are releasing it Friday at 3 p.m. EST.
Ooh, okay.
So we have more copies than the last special edition we did. And it's been a big effort getting this together. We're doing it all ourselves. So keep that in mind if you're interested.
Yeah. So yeah, check that out. Also, hey, if you enjoy the show, please leave us a nice rating on whatever podcast service you use. We're pretty much everywhere. Apple, Spotify, whatever the hell there else is out there. Is there another podcast service app?
I think YouTube.
I
don't know.
Yeah.
Who knows?
Yeah, I want us to grow even larger and annoy everyone else.
We want
in the
more.
industry. More! So, if you enjoy the show, yeah, support us over there. All right, here we go, Dustin. This is from Grimace from McDonald's. Happy Pride Month, Brad and Dustin. I see that you two are celebrating. How stinky y'all left that room. Cheers, Grimace from McDonald's.
This is what happens when we have a great community. We love you guys. Colin started this.
He always does.
And we were saying like maybe lawsuit, like can we make maybe even better. Maybe the lawsuit works out and we offer the bargain like, hey, you just give us the company.
Yeah.
We don't have to kick out Colin.
Right.
No, he just needs to work for us.
Exactly, yeah.
So maybe we can do that. But no, Brad, it's funny is Brad's room is all the way over there.
Yeah, back there.
He lives in the dank corner of the house. And I'm over here in this fresh.
The front room. My nice, very old room. Yeah.
Yeah. Brad's OG room. Yeah. And it's been pretty nice.
Yeah.
So no stank.
No stank.
That I know of. I've been showering every morning.
The only thing that they need in there, there needs to be a TV in there. That's like the one thing.
Yeah. I'm not a TV in bed guy.
I know. I'm not really either, but I'm like, oh, it's just common kind of thing. Hey, there's a dove up there. Do you see that on that house right there, that roof? Can you see it?
Hold on.
Look at that fat dove up there.
Oh, shit. I did see. I just bumped the mic.
Yeah. Sorry. That was like an ADD moment. Yeah, but TV. Common courtesy. But it's not really. I don't know why I'm thinking like that. Okay, here we go. This is from Micah, our very own Micah of At Last Stand Media. Brad and Dustin thought it'd be funny to prank me by sending a happy photo of them in front of the Cheesecake Factory, but then revealing that they didn't eat there. Sending my angriest Peep the frog photos, Micah. Micah thought Pepe, the frog, his name was Peep.
Right, so, yeah. Right. That tracks.
Yeah.
No, yeah, we were outside the Cheesecake Factory, and I was like, yo, Brad. I just sent it to Micah. Mm-hmm. No comment. I maybe should have kept the illusion Like maybe it's like one of those things like it's
We
better.
could have gone inside and pretended.
Or no, I'm just saying like you tell kids that, about Santa.
Right.
And you don't want to break the illusion. And maybe it would have just been better to have Micah believe that we went to Cheesecake Factory.
Yeah, she really wanted us to go to the Cheesecake Factory.
Now, Brett, I do think it is important that we've talked about a little bit about the local delicacies.
Oh, Del Taco?
We went to Del Taco.
Yeah.
Because I don't know if there's no Del Taco on the East Coast. There's certainly none by me. I might be wrong about that. There's definitely not any by me though. So we had Del Taco, pretty good tacos. But and then we've had In-N-Out a few times. Well, last night we were fucking rolling the dice.
Yeah.
Because we ate Dave's hot chicken, which I went with not the no flavor, but the mild.
Mild, yeah.
That was fine.
Just because it was like 11 o'clock.
It was
at night,
11 o'clock.
And we had to get up early and we didn't want to be shitting in our bed.
Right. So yeah, been indulging in some of that. And of course, at Summer Game Fest, they have a bunch of food as well. I was saying I was getting some of the Keeley water.
Oh my God.
He sources all the food himself.
Yeah.
So appreciate that.
Mm-hmm.
But so far, highlight is, and we went to Coco Ichibanya.
Yeah.
So
Yeah. You were thrilled about that.
That was pretty good.
Mm-hmm.
For those who don't know, that's a curry chain, mostly in Japan, but they have one here.
Mm-hmm.
And it was very good.
Yeah, it was good.
Very good.
Mm-hmm.
So,
yeah.
But yeah, no Cheesecake Factory. I have one of those at home. Micah, I would say I'm sorry, but I wouldn't mean it. So I guess we'll just leave it at that.
So, I don't know. Get fucked, Micah. I don't know
Yeah.
what else to say really with that. All right. Dustin, SGF was going on. We went there.
Yep.
Let's talk about just some of your general thoughts on Summer Game Fest. Do timestamps.
Do timestamps. Oh, yeah.
Dustin's got to do the timestamps.
If you guys see me over here typing away.
Yeah, we're gonna be doing a lot in a little bit.
This is the broke ass setup.
Yeah, that's right. That's right.
We're currently recording actually through my iPhone camera through the continuity camera for the Apple Dorks onto my Mac. So, so SGF, yeah. So SGF has been pretty cool overall. I think that in some ways it feels kind of light, but also not light. Like we got a few really big banger announcements. And we also had, we had the State of Play right beforehand, right as I got here. Then, of course, the Keeley's birthday party, along with the Xbox stuff. And yeah, it's been pretty fun. Do you want to talk about the event itself or just...
Sure. Well, we could talk about that and all the other events that went on. Whatever your thoughts are from that.
Yeah. So like I was saying earlier, it's been a while since I've been to one of these gaming events. And particularly for the Keeley event, it's interesting how much more exciting even a something you don't care about is when you're in the room and hearing the response. And dude, that theater, they had it so loud. It was so loud. I laid in bed that night and I had light ringing. It was
are you serious?
It was like a rock concert.
Oh my God.
In there. So, but yeah, overall, pretty good time. And it's been really cool seeing everybody, of course. We've seen, a ton of people, of course.
Yeah.
Cog was here. We got to see Chris for a little bit.
We did see Chris, yeah.
So, yeah, it's been pretty awesome. As far as game announcements, some of my favorite things, off the top, we got to say Resident Evil 9, which we're going to talk about. And we got to see a hands-off preview of the game, which was pretty cool. We're going to talk about that in depth. Pragmata was another game. Capcom killing it this year.
Cap Gods once again.
And probably one of the big surprises, though I don't know if this was at any stream, was I was watching you play Crimson Desert today. And we've been saying for a while that game doesn't look real. There's something off about it. It's one of those games you're like, is this going to actually run like shit when it comes out, or is it going to look way worse? And it's real. Yeah. And it's really cool.
Yeah, it was awesome. It was funny, the Xbox thing. We were driving to SGF because where it was is 40 minutes, 45 minutes from where I live. So we were driving there when it was going on, and you watched it while it was going on, and you told me a couple things like that, and let's start with this thing that was during it. Astro Parrot King wrote in here and said, "Hey boys, was it just me or was the Persona 4 trailer pretty bad? To be frank, it looked like something I would have expected from a modder, not Atlas." Now, what do you think about this, Dustin?
Honestly, I agree that it kind of looks, I don't want to say it even looks bad. It looks a lot like Persona 3 remake. Like, it's clear they're using Unreal and kind of doing it the same way. It didn't really bother me though, because I just feel Persona 3 Reload was so good that I feel confident that this is also going to be great.
Yeah.
And so, it maybe did look a little weird, but I don't know. This is probably me being a fanboy about it, but I'm like, yeah, it's going to be great.
Yeah.
But yeah, it was a weird decision as far as like showing just this one clip of the main character running through the town.
Inaba, yeah.
Like, I was like, oh, I kind of wanted a little more than that, but I'm just glad that it exists.
You know what it felt like to me is this game got leaked and everyone knows it exists. Just put something else out there. Just put it out there already. Just put it out there.
Just get it, running through the town.
Yeah.
That's all they need. Put a little
Sure,
That's all you need.
Yeah. But we'll see more of that for sure. I haven't seen the Xbox thing like at all. I haven't watched it. But you said Clockwork Revolution looked really cool, right?
Yes. Yeah. I need to go and rewatch the trailer because I think I was kind of half paying attention just because we were in a car.
Right. Yeah.
And I didn't have the sound on, but I was looking, I was like, man, this looks like it's going to be pretty good. And I know Maddie and Cog are both, at least I know Maddie, big fans of In Exile, doing cool stuff. So I need to rewatch that.
Yeah. So I need to just go through it and watch it all too. Because, they showed the Asus handheld. It's pretty big news. So
yes. Yeah. I got to talk to Cog about his experience, which of course you can listen to Defining Duke to hear more about that in depth. But the thing for me about that, Brad, is that right now, and for I guess not even just right now, the last few years, it felt like Microsoft was just getting lapped by Steam because they have some of these Windows handhelds that are just like annoying because they run Windows, and Windows has not been optimized
stinky
for games. It's really annoying. And I was watching the Linus Tech Tips video this morning when I woke up, trying to wake myself up. And it was really interesting just hearing that it's apparently like way more optimized for games, not just as far as like the interface and the controller stuff, but also that like the system resources are much lower. You got like, I think he said like 2 gigs freed up RAM from running this gaming version of Windows. And so that's the thing that's going to be really interesting going forward with these handhelds, is that the only thing that's really annoying about SteamOS and the Steam Deck is the lack of compatibility with certain games. And so this new Windows gaming mode, and thus this handheld, which I'm sure this will work on other Windows gaming handhelds, is that it'll maybe not automatically, but you can connect your Steam, your Game Pass, your Epic Game Store. And so you kind of can have everything.
Yeah. So that's nice.
Pretty interesting. And I wonder too, if this like gaming mode, if they're going to bring it to desktops.
I hope so.
And because that would be
pretty
nice. Interesting.
That'd be nice.
Pretty cool.
Yeah. I'd greatly appreciate that. Get on that, Phil. All right. So let's talk about what we saw. We're going to go in the order that we saw things actually.
Oh, okay.
So let's start with number 1.
Oh boy.
I'm going to start this. Onimusha Way of the Sword. By that I mean I just say it for you. Because you know what? It's a little crispy in here. I have to blow my nose.
You have to blow your nose. Here, I'll mute your mic so you don't.
We'll have to go get.
Oh, you have to go.
Yeah.
Okay. We'll cut it.
No, you don't have to cut it. Just keep going.
No cut. Just keep going.
Yeah, we don't have to cut anything. Just keep it going.
Keep it going.
So what we're gonna do is start.
I'm
gonna blow my nose. Turn on the AC. Then I'll be back.
Okay.
10 seconds. Go.
This is like Garth in Wayne's World when he's by himself. So Onimusha, Way of the Sword. We got to see, not go hands-on, but got to see a pretty extended gameplay portion of it. And man, it looks really stinking awesome. It definitely is modernized in a lot of ways. Brad, you have a lot more experience with some of the OG. I played the first one, but not the second one. And it, it has like a more traditional, like over the shoulder camera.
Yeah, when you're walking around. Yeah, it's not a fixed camera or anything like that.
Right. So, but yeah, Brad, why don't you take it away for a little bit? Just because I'm trying to think, like, for me, it's hard to figure, like, what differs. Like, I was telling you that we got to see one of the boss fights. And
2 fights.
There was a lot of parrying.
Yeah.
So is it kind of like Sekiro? The audience hates that.
Maybe to an extent with the one boss or some of the bosses, maybe like that. Because the bosses had a stagger meter. It wasn't necessarily like, I don't recall it being you get the stagger meter up and you kill them instantly kind of thing. I think it just did damage from what I remember. Or you get to choose either if you do more damage or if you like get more souls or something from them. I'm trying to remember if it's correct, but you have like an option of what you want to kind of do. But yeah, so it's not like fixed camera or anything. It's kind of like 1, 2, and 3. 4 was different, so this is more in line with that. But fear not, it's not exactly like Souls combat and like that. When you're fighting it looked more, and I think you said this, Dustin, it looked more like kind of like Batman, like the camera angle it did a little bit like the Arkham games. So it's not necessarily like Souls behind the back the whole time.
Sure.
So if you're worried about that, it's got something about Onimusha ID. I'm gonna kill your screen.
No
cuts.
No, I'm not gonna cut. I just don't want my code.
Oh.
I beeped it out.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. I'm gonna forget that anyways, but that's right.
I'll just keep doing it. It's
okay. So, but yeah, dude, cutting these like demons in half and everything, the dismemberment is real good.
Yeah, there was like obviously like head chops, of course, but there were some slices that were
like
vertical.
Yeah, down the side. They looked awesome.
They showed off a part 2 that I think it was in one of the trailers where like you can like kick up a table.
Yeah.
And then like kick it and like hit a bunch of guys.
Yeah, take cover in with all that. Yeah.
So that was pretty cool. It looks beautiful.
Yeah.
Too.
Yeah, it does. RE Engine.
It was showing like, of course, this is an Onimusha game. So when you kill guys, there's all the orbs that show up and you gotta absorb them.
The gauntlet.
There's that annoying bitch that sucks up all your orbs. That was in the game in the playthrough as well. So, the other thing that I really thought was cool was I'm blanking on the name of the temple, but the demo we saw.
I've been there. Yeah,
Kumizu Dera. One of my Japanese friends is gonna send me a message about this. It's in Kyoto, but they modeled and they actually worked with like official historical societies or something in Kyoto to accurately model what the temple would have looked like during this era. So we were watching. I was like, I have definitely been in that spot, which was pretty cool.
Yeah, it was awesome. I think the character you play as is Musashi, I think it is, like that famous samurai. So we saw him dueling another like human kind of guy who had his own gauntlet, and he was much more like wild and aggressive. Like Musashi seems kind of reserved. They're saying he's like more reserved with it and doesn't want to rely on it. But this other guy was really taking advantage of it, going real squirrely. So they had a like little fight sword duel. That was really cool. But then we saw him fight a demon at the end, and man, it looks really good. I'm so excited. As an Onimusha fan already, I'm thrilled. But you've played one Onimusha at least.
Yeah.
Do you think people should be excited if they haven't played Onimusha?
I think that, yeah, absolutely. This just looks like a really good action game in general. And the thing too is just like, you said Cap God, and it's like anything Capcom puts out right now, it seems like is excellent. We're going to be talking about Pragmata later as well, which was also great. So I think that I want to play the other games too. And they just remastered
two just came out. Yeah.
Right. Yeah. So, but yeah, it was super awesome. Yeah. And I'm super excited for it.
Yeah. Can't wait. All right, Dustin, another heavy hitter right after Onimusha. We saw Resident Evil Requiem or 9.
Right.
First of all, what did you think?
Okay. I feel like I have a lot to say about this
Yeah,
one.
okay, please go.
So this trailer, this gameplay looks like it's probably the beginning of the game.
Yes.
And so it starts and it is first person. So it feels very much like Resident Evil 7 and 8. You're in this I think it's like a medical facility.
Yes.
It's run down, very Resident Evil, of course. The thing that stuck out to me immediately was so the main character, it's the blonde girl.
Ashcroft. So it's, I can't remember her first name, but her mom was in Outbreak. She was a reporter in Outbreak, a playable character. And I think she had some notes in maybe Seven or Village. I can't remember off the top of my head. But some sort of connection there.
Yeah. So she
works for the FBI.
Right. You saw her in the reveal trailer.
Yeah.
And you also see her. She is a prisoner. She's strapped to this thing. You see her escape and she's trying to get out. So this gameplay was her trying to get out of this freaky place. And the thing that stuck out to me immediately is as the gameplay is going, there are really, really dark sections. It seems like light is going, at least in this part, was really important, where they would go and open a door and it was totally dark and it was maybe not.
Yeah, maybe not.
Later in the gameplay though, it showed getting a lighter.
Yeah.
In order to
Classic
go.
lighter.
So I wonder if there's a thing that don't go into completely dark areas unless you have some kind of light.
Oh, that reminds me of Shadows of the Dam had a mechanic like that. You can stay out of the dark.
Yeah. So yeah, going through this trailer, it was showing some of the puzzle solving, was there a fuse in it?
Yeah, so there was a fuse box, and you needed to go find a fuse. So that it was a demo, but they would cut some things out, trim the fat, I suppose, So it would have jump cuts occasionally. Right.
Yeah, and this gameplay didn't feature any combat. Was it?
Not fighting anything.
Not fighting
Running
anything.
from something, yes.
At one point, it showed one of the monsters from the game. It was this really weird, creepy...
If you guys have played Resident Evil 1, it kind of looks like Lisa Trevor, and that's what people are kind of thinking. Because it was like this. It looked like a big lady with chains. So that's very Lisa Trevor from RE1. And as we've seen in the trailer for RE9... there are remnants of Raccoon City in it you go to, apparently. They showed the RPD, and the Spencer Mansion is outside Raccoon City. So Lisa Trevor could easily be there, but we don't know for sure. Could be someone completely new.
And Brad, we got to talk about, they had the big reveal at the end of the trailer is that it fades to black, and then it said some, I don't know, some cryptic shit about more just the beginning or whatever.
Yeah.
And then it goes back into the gameplay and they hit start, and then they go and they change it to third person.
Yeah.
So it appears that the entire game is playable first or third person. I saw some people just yesterday or today, they were what if you play as Leon in third person?
Yeah.
And whatever. No, it seems like you have the freedom to choose first or third, which makes a lot of sense because they added the update to Village that you can play that game in third person. So kind of not surprising, but it was a cool little thing that they showed the whole gameplay in first person, but then switched to third.
Yeah. I kind of want to just emphasize this part that we saw. It was more so you trying to avoid this creature. It wasn't you fighting them back necessarily against them. Because, from what we knew, she had a lighter. I can't remember if she had a knife or something else like that, but she had a lighter, and this huge thing is walking around and trying to stop you. So it reminded me a lot of Mr. X walking around RPD and kind of being intimidating, throwing you. They showed the person, or in the demo, they would go to the save room to hide from it for a little bit. So save room is safe. You're okay. You don't have to worry about them busting in always.
Right. Yeah. Kind of, I guess if you think about, there's a section in Village.
Yes.
Where you are unable to fight. And at least in this part had the same
semi-reminiscent. Yeah.
But we didn't talk about the visuals at all, that it looks really good. We're at the point now where, was Village a PS5 only?
No.
Game?
I believe it's cross-gen. I can check though.
Cross-gen. But yeah, RE Engine has been continually really good engine visually, and this is no different. So it was...
Yeah, it was on PS4. So was 4. 4 Remake was on PS4 as well.
That's annoying.
Yeah.
But yeah, I wanted to see more. Of course, in fact, that's kind of a reoccurring thing. We'll talk about a demo later that ended at the most annoying point ever.
Of course.
But I was like, man, I wanted to see some of the combat. And of course, the big question of like Leon, which is like, it seems like based on the rumors, we didn't get any indication or were told anything about Leon, but that would have been a cool.
They're saving it.
Thing at the end. They're definitely saving it.
Because they didn't give a date for this game or anything like that. They did for Onimusha, which is like February, I think the end of February. But Resident Evil, I don't think there's a solid date yet. We just know it's 2026 as of now. So they got plenty of time to show more of the game.
You're wrong, Brad.
Oh, did they give a date for it?
It's February 27th.
Okay, never mind.
So
did Onimusha not get a date? Was it the other way around?
Let me check for you.
Yeah, maybe. I know one of them didn't have a date. Maybe it was Onimusha they didn't have a date.
No date.
Okay.
Well, 2026.
Just 2020. Yeah, like a window, but no. So yeah, Resident Evil has a hard date, so that's good.
Yeah.
That gives me confidence. So sure, Gamescom's coming up, so we'll probably see more there.
It is
birthday.
Yeah, it's weird that the reveal of Onimusha was a while ago.
Last year,
and we're going to get Resident Evil 9 before that, seemingly.
Yeah, the rumor is this game's been in development for a long time. The rumor with 9, so it's time, baby. Oh, what if we got Onimusha in January? That'd be awesome.
Whoa, back to back.
That'd be insane, dude.
Brad, I
doubt it, but that'd be insane.
I was going to say, wishful thinking.
Oh, yeah, me too. I have a feeling Onimusha will be like April, May is my guess. But yeah, Resident Evil Requiem, looking good. Very intrigued. Of course, I love Resident Evil, so.
I think the other thing, I mean, it looks great, but what we saw had nothing revolutionary or crazy new about Resident Evil. But it was more Resident Evil.
Yeah.
So if you like that.
The rumor is it's going to be like open world, more so open environments. Right. So yeah, I'm sure they'll do it. Think like Evil Within 2 and stuff like that, how to handle that maybe. So we'll see more there. We're going to move on from Capcom for now. We'll be back though. Let's go to Sega real quick. We played, both of us, Demon Slayer, Kimetsu no Yaiba, the Hinokami Chronicles 2. Yeah, I remember there was a game before on like PS5 and stuff like that. But we played the sequel. We played a little demo of it.
Yeah.
And it's I think it starts at the like season 2 arc, which is the entertainment district arc. I think that's where they're saying. That's where it was where we played. I recognized it.
Yeah. I think that's like pretty close to where I stopped watching the show, I think. Because there's like the Michael Jackson demon. That's what Holly always called him.
Yeah, because he has the hat, the white hat and stuff. Yeah.
Yeah. But yeah, this was an interesting demo just because we want to get into play as many things as possible.
Yeah.
Neither one of us has seen all of Demon Slayer so far. So we were kind of going in just like, well, let's check out the gameplay and the visuals and stuff. And the thing that, and it seems this was the case in the first game too, is that it does a really good job recreating the visuals from the show. That show in particular has such a distinct flair and style to it, which is translated really well. It's like a 3D fighter.
Yeah, think like the Naruto Ninja Storm games and stuff like that.
Yeah.
That reminds me of a lot.
The combat wasn't, and you know, of course, this is just a demo that what we played. It was not too complex.
No, it's pretty simplistic.
I figured out how to like stun lock the boss, and I just like ripped through her health. The boss was like this weird ribbon lady, very titular, very, I mean, there was actually a lot of fan service in this game for you gamers out there. Gene, something to think about. So maybe I should watch more Demon Slayer, bro.
Maybe.
Maybe we should check this out. But no, it was cool. It was, it's an anime game.
Yeah. They were talking, because I talked to them, they like asked us what we thought about it. And I was like, it's cool. It does a great job capturing the show, but it's a little simplistic. And they were like, yeah, that's a lot of feedback we got from the first game. So we trying to add some new things. Like there was an assist feature you could do to call in some characters to help you fight. But of course, I'm sure there's other stuff we don't know about. But I think if you enjoy Demon Slayer or those Naruto and Ninja Storm games, you'll probably have a good time here as well.
Yeah. Yeah. Pretty fun little game.
Yeah. Speaking of fun little games, let's talk about this one. Lego Party.
Yeah.
We played this with a dev and one other random dude. I don't know who he was, but he was just playing with us as well. He was just another guy visiting. But Lego Party is basically just Mario Party, but you're little Lego boys or girls, whatever the hell you want to be. I was a guy wearing a pizza suit. I forgot what you were.
I was a Yeti.
Yeah, you were a Yeti.
Yeah.
So there's like a lot of customization, how you want your character to look and stuff like that. But I think this game is pretty cool, dude.
This was cool because, so with some of these stations, there, like for Lego Party, there were 4 stations. And so there's 4 different either developers or PR people that are helping people. I believe we were with the studio head.
Oh, okay. Is that who we were playing with?
I think.
Okay.
I think that's what he said. But either way, this was a dude that was really knowledgeable about the game. And what was kind of interesting is that he was like, anything we were coming to, he was not only explaining, but also explaining like the dev logic to why. And so, yes, on the surface in the gameplay, this is very much Mario Party, but Lego. But some of the things he was explaining, it almost felt like it wasn't a call out, but he was like, yeah, there are no games that only involve 2 players in a party of 4. Like we want to make sure everyone's playing all the time.
Sitting around,
So, but yeah, it operates in the same way that there are golden bricks instead of stars. You got to go around the map. The map we played was a pirate themed map. And one of the cool elements for Lego nerds, and just cool to see in general, was there's certain spaces where you can choose to create different parts of the map. So like we had a choice between 2 different pirate ships. And you can see it be built and stuff like that, which is neat. There was like a thing where you could set up traps for other players. And I think it was actually the developer that got caught in the trap and got one of his golden bricks stolen.
Yes, he did.
But
he did get it stolen.
Brad, why don't you tell him about the mini games themselves?
Yeah, okay, so check this out. First of all, really cool rule I like in this game. So if you've played Mario Party and stuff like that, you know you roll for initiative, essentially, who goes the turn order, stuff like that. And that stays throughout the whole game. In this game, whoever wins the mini game, like, you know, whoever, like if they get first place, they get to go first that next turn. Second place gets to go second that turn. So the turn order is always swapping around. So it gives you even more incentive to kind of want to win those games. Of course, you're going to get like your little currency and all that stuff, but like turn order, that could be a huge deciding factor if you're going to get screwed over or get that golden break. So that was really cool. I really appreciated that rule. Also, when you come up to a mini game, it's not like Mario Party where it goes and picks between them. There's 4 right there. And there's 3 you could pick from. All the players vote on it. You like stand on a platform to vote for which one you want.
Oh, rich game, yeah.
Yeah, and then there's a random spot. So if you don't know, everyone can just kind of go on that random thing. So everyone gets to pick between those games, which is kind of cool. I really appreciated that. From the mini game perspective, there was one where we had to. There's like a board. We had like paint, and whoever got it was like Splatoon essentially. Like you want to get your color splat all over the mat the most. We did a really funny one where it was 2v2. Of course, it's, 1v1 a lot of them, but sometimes they team you up with someone. And we did one where like you control a tank and you have to get on a platform for a certain amount of time.
Oh, that one was tough.
And each person controls one tread. So you kind of like struggling with each other, going back and forth. That one was really cool. There was one where you had to like, there's a picture and you had to copy it and like draw it as quickly as you could.
It was like a grid that you had to fill in the grid exactly like above.
There was this really cool one I liked, Dustin, where there was 4 images, 4 different images of like an object, and there was these Legos in the middle that everyone could see that were rotating. And basically, they would add more pieces over time, and you had to guess what the Lego was from one of the pictures. So like, they would like add like a brown, or you'd be like, okay, that one has brown in it, so it's gonna be that Lego or something like that. So, and whoever does it first obviously gets more points.
It was like there were a few defining pieces you need to look for. Like one of them was like an eye.
Yeah.
One had like a unique eye that you needed to look for, which I really appreciate because some of these were pretty standard. Yeah. Like the one where you're filling in and trying to get like your color is the most like cool. But that one was cool because it was like uniquely Lego for the Lego game.
Yeah.
We played one that was kind of like Trials Fusion.
Oh my God, that one was cool. Yeah, controlled exactly like Trials.
There was one like that. There was a snowboarding one
Yeah,
where
that
you
was
were like
fun.
racing to the bottom. So yeah, I think we played at least
We
6.
played at least 6 rounds, but we had like one bonus round or something like that in the middle. Because he set it to be like 30 minutes or something like that.
Yeah.
And like after so many amount of turns, like some new changes are made to the board. Like these spaces give you more or less, or like here now there's like a trap space here and stuff like that. So they incorporate new elements as you progress through the turns.
Let me ask you about this, Brad.
Yeah.
I thought this was interesting. So at some point, somebody landed on a square where they had the choice to steal a golden brick. So
Yeah.
like stealing a star, right?
Mm-hmm.
They give you the option to not steal.
Yeah.
And what was interesting is they told me that he's like, oh, we did that because we wanted if it's like a dad playing with their kids, that they didn't have to choose to steal from somebody. And he was like, oh yeah, we had kids cry during play testing. And I'm kind of like, man, I grew up with the most unfair Mario Party shit.
If you get owned, when you're a kid, if you get owned, that's just the way it is.
You just sometimes let the kids get owned.
Let the kids get owned.
No mercy.
They also had a thing where it's like you can pick random who it would target.
Right. Which I think Mario Party does that sometimes when I played Jamboree.
I haven't played Jamboree.
Yeah. So,
dude, you know what's really funny? This Lego game takes place like on a TV show.
Oh yeah.
Mario Party Jamboree is like with the expansion that's coming out is like the same thing. It's also a TV show, and I was like, oh boy.
So as of right now, what's in the game is only Lego IP. So there was like a Ninjago stage if you're into that. I mentioned we played on the pirate stage, and I think there's space.
Yeah,
that was an option.
Space one.
So it's all only Lego IP. And I asked him, like, are you gonna do licensed stuff? Because that might be kind of cool. He's like, well, we'd like to.
Yeah.
I was like, okay. But I told him, I was like, I think it's kind of cool that it's like a pure
because he's
Lego.
talking about it's like actual Lego sets or something too.
Yeah. And I've heard this before that Lego has very strict rules.
Yeah,
like he was saying that everything in the game has to be actually buildable in real life. So, and it has to, like, Lego pieces have to be, they can't be too old.
Oh yeah, that's
like,
right. Yeah.
So like there's certain classic Lego like old sets that they weren't able to access because of Lego's rules.
Right.
But in general, is this, I mean, it really is just like a Lego Mario Party.
Yeah.
So, but it's like, I mean, it's cool because, you know, not every family has a Switch. Maybe they just have a PlayStation. This is a good option. And of course, kids love Lego.
Dude, they're gonna add like a Bionicle one, I know, down the line.
Yo, that actually might be sick. Were you into Bionicle?
No, that was later from that came way later.
Yeah, I forgot you're old.
Yeah,
old man Brad.
That's right. Yeah, I'm not a Zoomer.
Yeah, dude, come on, that was like 2002, bro. It was the second gen Bionicle that was popular when I was in 3rd grade.
Okay.
So
yeah. I feel like
I
I was in like junior high or something when Bionicle came out.
Yeah,
I was like, what is this?
What is this nerd
I was like,
shit?
where's the Star Wars sets?
Yeah. So yeah, overall, we walked in basically being like, this is going to be Mario Party, but worse. And we had a good time playing it. Yeah. And I thought it was.
I had fun.
I thought it was fun.
I generally had fun.
I'm curious what the pricing will be.
I am curious about that.
That would actually, dude, it would be sick if they're like, this is our version of Mario Party, and it's lower priced. It's available on everything. That would be kind of cool.
Yeah.
So overall, surprised by Lego Party.
Surprisingly fun.
Not necessarily like amped by it,
right?
But I think a lot of families will have a lot of fun with it.
It was super solid. So,
and I think adults too. It wasn't just like, you know, purely a kid's game or anything.
Right. Speaking of kids games, Lumines Arise. I'm just kidding. Just kidding. Lumines Arise. This dude, Dustin was so hyped for this game. So we had the appointment and I was like, Dustin, just take it, man.
Just take it.
Play the entire time.
Yeah. So this is from Enhance. This is the developers of Res Infinite and Tetris Effect, and more recently Humanity.
Yeah.
I think was the call.
Yeah,
what it
yeah,
was called.
Humanity.
So
That was a cool game.
This is very much in line with, this is Tetris Effect, but Lumines. And
So what's the difference between Lumines and Tetris Effect, or a Tetris?
let me figure out.
Is it just 2 blocks together?
So yeah, it's like a 2x2 grid.
Mm-hmm.
And so you need to match up pairs.
Okay.
Or not pairs, but like make complete blocks.
Okay.
It's really weird to describe.
Yeah, I was like trying to figure it out a little bit when you're playing. I was like, how the hell does this work?
Yeah.
I'm glad I didn't play.
You want to bunch them up in order to clear the lines as you go through. I think the really important thing, though, is that the music, they have the same composer as Tetris Effect. And this game is all about the zen, the flow state of playing a puzzle game. So there was like all this awesome music going on, really cool visuals happening. One of the levels was like these 2 chameleons on the side. I don't remember.
That was
if
awesome.
You remember that?
Yeah, that was
like,
cool.
I think we were playing on like a sick OLED.
Yeah,
and
it looked really nice.
Looked awesome. But yeah, when we sat down for this demo, I Glazer Dustin came out
You glazed
a little
him,
bit. I
yeah.
was like, bro, Tetris Effect, I think is one of the greatest games ever. I'm so excited to play this. And it was everything I wanted it to be.
Yeah. Good.
And the only issue I had was that I'm just not as proficient in Lumines since I only played the remaster for a bit. I need to download that on my Switch too before I leave.
Oh, Lumines?
Yeah. So the other cool feature is if you play Tetris Effect, you may remember it had this like meter that you could build up and then go into I think it was called the zone, which is like you can then kind of pauses the bricks from disappearing. So you want to build like the biggest combos. So when you do this, and I think it's like left or right trigger or something, the color scheme changes and the music changes, and then you have the ability to make these giant, huge combos.
Yeah.
So you can either use it to like make a huge like bonus to your points by doing a huge combo. I was using it to get myself out of dicey situations a few times. In fact, we walked out of that appointment, Brad, and I was like, yeah, I'm always nervous at appointments for stuff like that where you don't want to play like a fucking idiot in front of a developer or something.
Well, they see all kinds. So if you're
I'm sure.
They see you.
Yeah. So I was like, yeah, hopefully I did all right. And you're like, oh, he was going like, oh, nice.
Yeah. He was going, oh, sweet. Yeah,
sweet. Nice. Yeah.
Dustin couldn't hear though because he was jamming out to the soundtrack.
Oh, yeah. Yeah. So, yeah, this will also be playable on the PlayStation VR 2. And that with headphones on. I was telling you, Brad, about Tetris Effect and how it's a Tetris game that is somehow emotional when you play it.
Yeah.
With some of the different songs and the visuals and when you're in the flow. And I expect this to be very similar to that. So it's like one of those things where you know what you're getting, but it's going to be awesome.
You know what it reminds me of? It's like the modern day, we were talking about this earlier, Pink Floyd laser light show for stoners.
Oh,
it's like the modern day version of that, dude, in VR.
Dude, in VR. All right. You know, I'm down.
Yeah. But yeah, you loved it. It seemed so cool.
Yeah.
I'm sorry, did you explain what the line was like was going across the screen and like kind of wiping stuff? I didn't really understand what that was.
The line is like, so you'll make like, I think you need a grid of 4 of the same icon. And then when the line goes over it, that's when it makes them disappear.
Oh,
So there's kind of an element where you can see the line at the beginning and you're like, oh, I can put this here real quick. Like you want to kind of be speedy about it.
Okay, got it.
Yeah. But yeah, this is probably one of my favorite games that I got to play.
Yeah.
And yeah, I'm trying to think if there's anything else that I've left out, but no, it was awesome.
Yeah.
So
it looked crazy. Looked awesome. Yeah. Okay. This was also surprising to us. Dying Light, the Beast. Surprisingly fun. We had a good time playing this. I played some of the first game just for context, and I've played some of the second game, but I've never finished either of them. But we hopped into Dying Light the Beast, which I guess is like a standalone expansion, and you play as this character.
No, not an expansion.
Oh, is it just standalone?
So what's interesting is that this is basically Dying Light 3.
Okay.
Because they were explaining like a lot of the context of Dying Light 2, and they're like, so this takes place after you've. So I think, and this is like not spoilers. I mean, I guess it would be spoilers for Dying Light 2.
This is what they told
but
us.
It's a sequel, so it's like at the end of Dying Light 2, you're captured and experimented on for a long time, and so you're finally escaped, and so you're going to extract revenge on the person that was experimenting on you. So obviously no one wants to be experimented on.
Right.
But in this case, the experiment is what gives you cool powers in this game, like zombie. The
beast mode.
The beast mode powers.
Yeah, that was fun, by the way.
So yeah, it's basically Dying Light 3.
Yeah.
But it's kind of unfortunate because like you thought it was an expansion or something. I'm sure that there's a lot of people that think that this is an expansion to that, but
I guess because it doesn't feel like Dying Light 2 came out that long ago, but I guess it came out a couple years ago when I think about it, actually. So
I want to say that was like early.
Was that like 20,
in the PS5?
20, like 2 or 1? It's got to be something like that.
I can look.
I guess it's been a while, but yeah. I had a good time playing through this though. Like, I really like the beast mode we were talking about. That's like kind of like the main hook this time around. You like go like think like the old Dooms. You go like rah, 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 and it turns all red, and you're just like punching everything. Like the zombies are like exploding, all that kind of stuff. Had a lot of that fun melee combat, chopping zombies in half. There's some guns and all that kind of stuff we got later on.
That's a very important thing that you brought up, Brad, because I was talking to Locke about this because I played some of Dying Light 2. I have not played 1, but a lot of Dying Light fans weren't into 2 because of a lot of the changes. To my understanding is that Dying Light 2 was a lot more RPG heavy. And the other big thing is that Dying Light 2, at least the launch, I don't know if they changed it with expansions, did not have guns.
Oh,
It was melee only. So they are reintroducing guns in this game. And that's mostly what I used during the demo was guns.
I mean, you start with melee weapons only like that. She told me, my person that was guiding me through it, she like led me to some cool two-handed axe. And I like upgraded it throughout the playthrough. It was really fun. Of course, you got the drop kick back. I love the drop kick so much in these games. It's so sick. But yeah, there was this kind of like factory you had to go to or whatever that had like enemy, like humans walking around and stuff like that. And it was really funny because it was one of those things where like, here's your location, but you can kind of get there how you want. Like I went a completely different way, the lady said. I like did some weird wall run. She's like, I haven't seen anyone do that yet. I was like, oh okay. She's like, that was interesting.
This was the demo where
they glaze you.
So even in my limited experience demoing games over the years, you get sometimes you're like, oh, you're pretty good at this. You're like, am I?
Say that to everybody.
Do you say that to everybody? Because I beat the last boss. He's like, oh, not everyone's done that today. Which I actually do believe, because that last boss I died first initially. But I think before we talk about the boss, some other new things is that this game has vehicles in it. Yeah. And so
I pulled an Austin Power moment in the car. I got like stuck in like an area and I was like, boom, 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 boom.
Yeah. So they were saying that the vehicles are very destructible. Like as I was driving, I was just like, at first I was just hitting every zombie as possible because they exploded and it looked cool. He's like, oh, and you can already see some of the damage that your vehicle has taken from hitting those zombies. I was like, oh, like the bumper starts falling off and stuff like that. So you got to not necessarily drive too crazy or get yourself stuck like Brad did and fuck your car up. The parkour, of course, very important in this game. I was hopping all over the place, hopping on top of buildings and like running across stuff like that.
Once you get like a flow going, it's really cool.
Yeah. So you were talking about there's the part of the demo where you're going in and there's like a base that has humans in it. I went in with a bow.
Yeah, I killed some dude and took his bow later.
Yeah, so I was like going and sniping people with the bow, getting headshots, doing like stealth takeouts and stuff like that. So there's a point in the game too where maybe you mentioned this, where you get a shotgun. And the shotgun did a lot of damage. Yeah,
the person with me, the lady, she was saying she likes a shotgun gun. She goes, "It's beautiful." And I was like, "It sure was when you were shooting a zombie. It sure was."
I'm trying to think what else about it. So the boss at the end.
Yeah,
you're fighting this like big mutant beast guy. And one of the important things too is that the guy, before the boss started, he's like, you're going to want to make sure to dodge.
Yeah.
And so immediately I got attacked, but I just dodged like just slightly wrong and then pretty much immediately died.
Oh, really?
I was
Damn.
like, ugh. So second time I was fine, cleared it, locked in, had the gamer mode activated at that point. So the boss like was doing all these crazy, he was like picking up cars, throwing them at you. Cool. You had to do the like the dodge moves and stuff like that. There's a point where the boss summoned in more zombies. Yeah. So that was also difficult to try to like navigate that. And then once you defeat the boss, the big thing is that you have the beast mode powers we talked about earlier. The character goes and takes a sample from the boss, then takes one of them and then just like a fucking junkie hits up. He like takes the zombie blood or semen. I don't know what it was. It wasn't, I mean, from that area, but maybe it was.
Yeah.
You never know with these
maybe
mutations.
Maybe that guy, yeah. Who knows? Maybe his dick's on his shoulder.
Yeah. So he goes and injects it, and then it's like, oh, that's how you level up your powers.
Yeah.
So,
but yeah, it was solid. I had a good time. I was like, dang, come play Dying Light now.
I was pretty surprised.
Yeah.
By it, especially just because I wanted to play more Dying Light 2. I wasn't into it. And then I found out a lot of Dying Light fans weren't into it either. It's like, well, maybe I won't go back to it.
Yeah.
And then I played this. I was like, oh, and I was trying to remember, like, what didn't I like about Dying Light 2? I think there was a thing about like weapon levels and it's like certain, it was just tough.
Yeah.
But yeah, I was really surprised by it. And so Dying Light fans, I think are going to be pretty happy.
Yeah. Sounds like it. Now, Dustin, this was the end of day 2 for us, but we did something on the after SGF on day 2. I forgot to bring this up earlier. We went to the Death Stranding 2 Game Premiere. Is that what it was called? I forgot what it was called.
It was called the Game Premiere.
Yeah, it was this event where Kojima was there. His translator, of course, Jeff Keighley was there. We had Troy Baker, Woodkid, who does a lot of the music in it. And I forgot the girl's name.
Yeah, it's the Japanese actress.
Yeah, I forgot her name.
That she's doing the voice of her character in both Japanese and English, really cool. Which is kind of cool. But Brad, before we get into this event, Brad and I, we were going and we were there. We were going to be there really early. So we're like, let's go check out Little Tokyo. And as we're driving, we find ourselves not in the midst of the deepest part of the LA protest riot, whatever you want to say. And we just see like people, there was like spray paint all over it. Like people like
going crazy,
honking their horns. And we're like, let's get out of here. Let's get out of here.
Yeah.
Other than that, because I know that's going to be a question. People are like, well, you guys were in LA during the riot. We were fine.
Yeah, we were fine.
That was the only time. And it wasn't even, we didn't see or feel in danger, but it's like,
Yeah. It was just like, I can't get through there. Like, I can't drive through there when there's just people walking around the street.
We're like, let's get out of here. So we went to this Death Stranding event. This was also, because I saw some confusion, just for some transparency. We weren't invited
correct
as press or anything to this event. We signed up when it was announced.
Civilians.
Just civilians. Peasants going in to this. And so they showed off like part of the beginning of the game. And of course, the stream is available on YouTube if you want to go watch it. Maybe you don't. Brad, how'd you feel about, was it too spoilery?
I mean, with me, I don't want to see anything from Death Stranding necessarily, but too late. So it wasn't that bad though. I wasn't like, man. It seemed like much just a lot of the stuff they've already shown in the trailer. From what I've like, I avoided like the South by Southwest trailer, like the 10-minute one. I didn't even see that trailer at all. I saw a couple screenshots, but they kind of dived a little more to something like that. They showed like a boss fight.
Right.
And I was like, okay, whatever. And they showed the very beginning of the game.
Yeah, they showed the very beginning. I guess there are many timestamps. If you don't want to hear anything about Death Stranding, because I understand, because it's coming out so close, you can skip to the next timestamp now. They showed off like and explained how there's going to be different natural, not disasters, but like during the beginning of the game, it showed that there was an earthquake going on you had to brace for. They mentioned floods that can happen in the game as well. We also saw an extended combat sequence, which is very much like the What's Matt's
Higgs. Oh no, I'm sorry. It was Cliff.
Cliff. Yeah. So it was very much like those Cliff sequences in Death Stranding 1. But man, the main thing, Brad, about this, to me, seeing the gameplay, I was like, man, visually it looks real good.
Yeah. Showpiece.
Yeah, they were showing it off on PlayStation 5 Pro, and it looked
it was like a guy
fantastic.
actually playing it.
Yeah, and they were saying like how he was like super nervous.
Yeah, Kojima was roasting him, dude.
Yeah. I was like, dude, that guy no longer has a job.
Yeah.
He was struggling at one point
Yeah.
during the gameplay.
Yeah.
Also, one other funny thing, Brad, we were laughing. You can find this in the stream. For some reason, Kojima said something like, he's like, I wanted to have a Japanese character because Asians are hard to model.
Yeah.
And we were like,
Dustin started laughing.
we're like, what? Like,
it must be a thing. I have no idea, but it's just a funny thing to hear.
yeah. But overall, it was fun. It didn't feel like it was mainly the main appeal of that was just to be in the room with Kojima, hallowed ground.
Yeah.
Being in the space with him.
He's got a presence.
So, but yeah, fun little event. But I'm in the same boat as you, Brad, where it's so close now that I don't feel like I'm like, oh man, I wish we hadn't gone or anything. But I guess in some ways it just made me more excited because, man, like I said, the visuals stuck out to me. Like this opening section where it showed like in a desert, a mountainous desert area. Whoa. This looks crazy.
Yeah, it looks super good. All right, so then we started day 3, which was today for us for Summer Game Fest. We started off hot. Real good thing right away. Pragmata. Me and Dustin each got to play it.
Yeah.
We got to play a little demo of it.
Brad, a little behind the scenes.
Yeah.
Is that, so for events like this, you get emails from PR to go check out stuff. So we had an invite for the Resident Evil and Onimusha stuff. And we got there, we're like, oh, people can play Pragmata. So we were able to weasel our way in. No funny business weasel. Or anything.
Yeah.
Well, we just were like, hey, do
We
you have any open spots? And they let Capcom, thank you. Capcom let us in to play it. And so yeah, Brad, why don't you take it away about what you think about this?
So dude, Pragmata, sick game, first of all. Just gotta get that out of the way. Great game. Really cool, really weird and unique game that I liked. Fresh new IP. I mean, this isn't fresh, I guess. We saw this game when the PS5 was revealed.
yeah.
5 years ago. So, but we finally got to play it, and it's pretty cool, man. So how it works is you play as Hugh. He's like the main guy. He looks almost like a mix between Isaac and the Kojima astronaut logo guy.
Yeah.
That's what it looks like to me.
Definitely.
So you play as him. He's like your main character, but you also have this android girl with your name, Diana. She kind of like rides on your back as you're going through the game.
She's like a parrot.
Yeah, she's like a parrot. Yeah. But there are robots in the game. All we fought were robots. So a big thing in the game is obviously shooting like third person, and like think of like Resident Evil shooting a guy. But there's a hacking plays a huge part in the game as well, because you are aiming at these robots. If you shoot them, you could do damage to them, but it's not a lot of damage. But you can do damage to them. But the main thing what you want to do is while you're aiming at them, this all takes place in real time, is like a hacking menu comes up. And how you do it is there's a grid with spaces on it, and you want to get to the green space every time. And you can move directions depending on the face button you push. So if you push right, if you want to go right, you push circle, stuff like that. If you want to go down, you push X. And you want to get to the spaces, and it's however it moves. You don't have like a limit on how many moves you can make it in or anything like that. Not yet or anything like that.
Right.
There's more stuff to it as we go on, but I'll get into that more. But anyways, you move to this green space, and this opens the enemy up to a vulnerable state. Like armor spots like open up on like blue marks. You can shoot these to do a lot more extra damage. And what's interesting is you start off the game with a pistol, and this pistol has 6 shots, but it recharges over time. So I don't think there's anything like melee or anything you could do in the game. Not yet that we saw or anything. So pistol is your main thing. You also have other weapons you can get throughout the game. You could find them. It's not like you pick up the shotgun and you keep that shotgun with you the whole time and you just get ammo for it. No, it's you get the shotgun, you use it, then you dump it and you pick up another one later.
Yeah.
So reminded me of GoldenEye in that sense.
Yeah. So the hacking mini game, because that's kind of I think the main hook.
That is
of
like
this
the main
game is
hook of it. Yeah.
You said his name is
Hugh.
Hugh. I think. Yeah.
I think it's you.
Hugh is the, like, you know, he's the one doing the shooting, but the girl is doing the hacking.
Yeah, Diana.
And so Brad mentioned the grid where you press the face buttons to kind of navigate through the grid to get to the green spot. And that's when the hack is complete. But as you go through the game, at least in the demo, I think it picked up a few, there are special modifier squares that if you can thread your path through them, they can change like how the hack.
Oh, our doorbell rang.
Brad's doorbell rang. Who is here?
I don't know. Hold on, let me go check.
Okay, Brad's going to go check. And I'm going to...
Oh, Dad, you want to see? Okay. Anyway, let's just keep. Hey, there's my dad,
There's
everyone.
Brad's dad. Welcome to the show.
Yeah. Papa Ellis right there.
Man, what was that?
Pragmata the grid.
Pragmata the grid. Well, it's a little girl selling something.
Oh, nice.
How cute. So I was mentioning these modifiers. So one of them, it's like, oh, if you thread through this, it'll do extra damage.
Yeah.
I think, or lower defense or something
It would
like that.
lower their defense. Like it was like a yellow square or something in it.
Right. So yeah, there's a lot of interesting strategies. There's also like areas like certain blocks that it's like, oh, you can't go through here. So a lot of it is like you're in the moment. This isn't paused, by the way.
Yeah, it's all
in real time. So you're like aiming, doing this hacking game and trying to get the most optimized route while you're trying to not get hit. One of the guns that you pick up was this, it like shoots like an AoE thing that slows down enemies.
It's like a trap.
So there was one room that we were in where there were like, I don't know, at least 3 enemies. So it's like you want to pull that out, slow them all down. That way you can hack and then try to like pick them off one at a time in order to not get too crazy with, you know, all the different enemies going around.
I really liked on the grid, like that yellow square we're talking about that lowers their defense. That's like it has a resource to it. You pick it up. It's not like that's there forever. You have a certain amount. Like I had 2 or something like that, and you can use it 2 times, but you could choose not to use it on that enemy if you want.
I didn't realize they were
save
limited.
Yeah, you like pick them up, so it's not permanent.
Interesting.
So it's like another resource to manage, which is cool. But what was really sick is like, so there was like that gun you're talking about. There was a shotgun that we got that was really fun. And I played through the demo, well, like 1.5 times pretty much. And but I really, as I went through my second time, it all started kind of like flowing better as I was like learning more. So I would like hack the guy and shoot him. And with the shotgun, then while it's reloading or whatever, you know, you can't just shoot it constantly. I'd switch to the pistol real quick and shoot a little bit, then swap back. So you reload in that amount of time or cool down. So there's definitely some management there. Also, I liked the mobility you have with Hugh.
Oh, yeah. So he has like boosters on his feet. So if you jump, you can do like a little glide.
There's also, you can dash. You can dash like on the ground, left or right, back, all that kind of stuff. But you could also jump and like do an air dash and stuff like that. So that was really fun. And there's parts where there's like laser walls or something. You have to like jump over it. And it was cool. Like the whole gameplay thing was kind of like, the main thing was like, here's this locked door and you have to find like 5 things to hack to open it.
Yeah.
So you would go through like multiple floors. They were all kind of like connected, like jumping down something and just going from place to place. You hack a door and it unlocks a new door to another area. But then we do all that. We get to the end, fight some guys. There's like a bigger robot, which was cool later on. The first one was like a more humanoid looking one. This one was more like, looked like Diva's mech from Overwatch almost to me.
Yeah.
But then we get to the end and it was like a big boss. And it was like, oh, then they're like, nope.
Yeah.
Stop there. I was like, no.
It was kind of, I've never had this happen at a demo before where normally a demo just like fades to black. And it's like, thank you for playing. This one, we had like a Capcom person like tapping on it.
No.
It was like very quickly,
Yeah.
very suddenly. So it was like blue balls. Cause like, oh, sick. I'm like excited to check out this boss fight. Like, what's a boss fight in this game? And they're like, no.
Yeah,
no boss fight for you. But yeah, I was surprised. I guess not even surprised because, as we mentioned earlier, Capcom is making awesome shit over and over again. I just didn't know what this game was.
Yeah, I mean, it's easy to be skeptical of it because we saw it so long ago and they kept delaying it. Like, this doesn't come out till 2026 still.
Yeah.
So, yeah, I was definitely like worried about the game. But I came away being like, yo, this is cool.
Yeah.
I was happy with it.
Yeah, it was cool. And it was neat because since it's coming out in 2026, there's still a lot of time. Like when we were playing, and this is no knock against it, it was like, clearly a little early, a little framey.
Yeah.
And it's funny because I've like when we get to play demos like that, I'm like, hell yeah. Like I like that it's like, this is
still
early.
a rough
Nice.
state. Yeah. Yeah. But it was sick, dude. Capcom does it again.
Dude.
All right, let me put this one in here real quick. Shinobi. I got to play Shinobi, the Sega reboot game coming out really quickly. I weaseled my way into this one respectfully.
That's our thing. Yeah. Respectfully weaseling our ways in.
Just by asking them like 3 times.
Yeah, we didn't get to talk about this in person at all because you got into this at the perfect 30-minute
They were like,
gap.
it's 30 minutes and our next thing was in 30 minutes.
Yeah.
So I was like, okay, it's game time.
Yeah.
Right,
so you finished this and then we went directly to the next thing.
Mm-hmm.
So take it away.
So Shinobi, old franchise. Shout out to Cog. Cog loves Shinobi. And I did see he got to play it, so that's good. I'm happy he did. And but anyways, it's a 2D side scroller. First of all, it looks awesome. Visually, it looks so good, running around throwing your kunais, all that good stuff. But anyways, yeah. You run sideways, all that good stuff. You got kunais that are like ammunition you can find. You throw them, they do damage. There's a lot of guys that get one shot by it. Good mobility, feels good to move around. Double jumps, you got to roll. You can like roll between enemies, and if there's like a box or something in your way, you can just kind of like roll over it. Really fluid. So I really liked that. There's combos you can do, like square, square, triangle, triangle. You got your light, heavy, heavy kind of attacks. And what's cool about it is doing damage builds up this meter. And when you build up the meter, you can like do a ninjutsu. Like I had fire, so you go do like the fire breath and you do like a ton of damage. So it's really sick. And every enemy you hit kind of has this meter that goes up. You don't have to build a meter up to kill them or anything like that. But if you do build up the meter, it leaves them vulnerable for like an instant kill. So you would build it up. You could hold like L1, I think it was, and push R1. Then your character would instantly teleport to them, like cut them up. And it would give you like more resources by doing it, like more health, more money, and all that kind of stuff. So it felt really good to do.
Yeah.
This game has Metroidvania. I don't know if I guess it's a Metroidvania. I'm not really sure because I played the very beginning of the game and it was more linear, but it started to open up more. Like I started to see the spaghetti map more as I went on. So there was definitely things I could not get yet. I was like, okay, I gotta get ability to revisit this later. But honestly, it feels really good. Like there's this really cool tech you can do if you roll, and if you attack mid-roll, he'll like do a really sick like attack as he's moving through them, really efficient. And you can like juggle some guys. There's also like this super meter you could build up where he does like a ninjutsu. I only had the first one, but like blows everyone up on the screen. Felt really cool to do. I fought one boss and he was really cool looking, but it's hard for me to just say like how good this game how good it feels. Like controls feel super tight. I want to say it's either the Streets of Rage 4 guys or maybe the publisher doing this. I forgot who exactly is doing it, but it has kick-ass music, great visuals, really good wall climbing, all that kind of stuff. When I played, I was just like, man, give this to me now. I need this right now. I need to play this.
It is kind of wild that we have a new Shinobi and a new Ninja Gaiden.
Two new Ninja
Gaiden games. We did see on the show floor, they had the 2D one. Mm-hmm. Apparently there's a demo on Steam. Right now.
I'll have to check
that anyone
it out.
can go play. We
got turned down.
We got turned down to play it, but they were like, but there's a demo.
Yeah.
We're like, okay, cool. So we'll just play that at some point. But that looked really good too. But yeah, cool. I'm glad.
Shinobi was awesome.
I remember seeing the trailer for this game before this demo. I was not in the room watching, so I'm just visualizing it all. I have no experience with like the classic Shinobi games.
Okay. Yeah.
Even though I was a Sega kid growing up, we did not have Shinobi.
Yeah. Like this, Colin's gonna eat this up big time. Yeah.
Nice.
Cog obviously loved it. So yeah. Shinobi, good stuff. Then we went to Bandai Namco and we started off with Code Vein 2. Now, we didn't get to play Code Vein. It was just more like a presentation, I suppose. They showed us some slides of the game and told us a little bit about it. But they did show like a more gameplay of it and stuff like that. And I played Code Vein when it came out. I actually reviewed it when it came out. And I liked it. I thought it was good, but it had a lot of problems and a lot of space for improvement. And what we saw of the game is still very early. It wasn't running like particularly well or anything like that. Like this is coming out sometime next year. For now. So it's still got a ways to go. But they showed a couple new things in the game, and it looks really good. Of course, the character creator is very detailed. That was a big thing in the first game, and a lot of people really like that.
I think they said they were like, we identified that people really enjoyed the character creator.
Dude,
so we went into that.
Yeah,
like,
dude, you play that game, you know what they're talking about. Whoa. But anyways, they showed off you had this companion ability. Now, I can't remember. I think there were companions in the first game. It's just been so long for me. I can't remember. But they kind of like told us about their story, the player and this girl with you and all that kind of stuff. She like split her heart with you to like keep you alive or something like that. So she's with you the whole time, fighting and stuff like that. And they showed a couple new weapons. They showed one that was like a rifle and it had like a bayonet on it, so you could poke guys, but then you can get further away and shoot them and all that kind of stuff. Had all like the beast kind of stuff, like the claws you can do like in the first game and stuff like that, and some powers you can absorb, like different ones. They showed like a bat form. He grew like wings and attacked. Of course, the claw. One thing they showed me I was surprised about, there was like a vehicle you could get out.
Yeah.
Like the world seems much bigger this time around compared to the first game, like much more room for like exploring everything like that. They were talking about side dungeons and all this kind of stuff. So that seems really cool. And they were talking about jumping between 2 different time periods.
Yeah,
and the map changes a little bit.
The slide they showed, they're like the present and the past. And it was like the past was like post-apocalyptic, everything's fucked up. Mm-hmm. And then the present was like, no, really fucked up.
Yeah. But yeah, I thought it looks promising. I'm excited. I'm down. But what did you think?
Yeah, well, one of the things that in this presentation that they did for us is that they so sometimes you get to go hands-on, sometimes you get to just see a gameplay video or whatever. But this was almost like they showed us gameplay and they had a little PowerPoint for us. And they kind of subtly, at least to me, were like, we identified these things about the game and this is how much Code Vein 2 is improved.
Yeah.
Improvement was a word that they were kind of emphasizing on. So it kind of felt like they were like, yeah, we weren't quite there with Code Vein.
Right. I agree.
And so we are really improving the game. And so I'm curious about, as you were saying, how open it is. We did get to see that motorcycle thing, which was pretty cool. We got to see this boss fight at the end with the weapon. It was like this giant cleaver that has...
do we have it up here?
Yeah, do you see if you can find it?
I can grab it right there.
It's like this giant cleaver that almost had like clock internals to it. Yeah. And they gave us this...
It's like a pen.
That you can see. Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
So that thing was cool.
Yeah.
And it was showing like during this boss fight, like the whoever was playing was getting hit and it was like kind of like grinding them up at the end.
It was cool. It was like a chainsaw thing.
But I'm curious about this just because Code Vein, I think there was a demo for it that I played and I was like, because unlike you, Brad, I'm a pretty choosy and for the most part don't like Souls-like.
Yeah, I'll eat that. I'll eat that slop up all day.
I've started to open up a little more with Liza P. And so, dude, and this being an anime,
this is not as good as Liza P.
Yeah,
I'll say that. The first game.
Who knows? Maybe the
second one, I don't know, but yeah, first one, no.
So I'm open to the idea, and so, but yeah, it looked cool. It looked like I'm hoping that the emphasis on like improvement is present, but and I'm curious too, like I was saying, how big the world is. If you need a vehicle to get around, it sounds pretty expanded.
Yeah, I'm down. I like Code Vein 1, even though it's got problems. But I'll definitely be there day one. Now, Dustin, the next game, they kind of we screwed up, or they screwed up our kind of appointment order, and you played. What was it called again? Do you remember? I
couldn't
play it.
And the embargo is after.
Okay, so never mind.
We're not going to talk about it. We'll save it for
some other time.
Maybe we'll record it after this. But yeah, we cannot talk about that one if we want to release.
Okay.
Tomorrow.
Never mind. We won't talk about that.
It was a game that was announced, but
yeah. Let's just move on then. Thereafter, Crimson Desert. This was the last game we saw. I played this. You were there with me. It was like an hour-long demo. So we've talked about Crimson Desert in the past. Just so anyone doesn't know, this is Pearl Abyss, the people that did Black Desert Online. So this is their single-player game, and we've been like, what's the catch with this game? What's the deal going on with this game? Because we see them like, this looks awesome. Happy to say it's very cool.
Even it is so cool.
It's really cool.
I was shocked just watching you play it. But yeah, I don't want to. You're the one who played it. Please take it away.
Yeah. Okay. So this game's weird. Well, it's hard to talk about because there's so much to this game.
What they say there was a point where you're like, yeah, this is there's a lot to this, and the guy was like, oh yeah, well this is at 20 hours into the game.
Yeah, they throw me in some like part of the game that's 20 hours in or something like that. They're like, good luck kind of thing. But yeah, so just if you don't know, it's a third person open world game. Like how it started off is like in this camp with all these armies, or you were in this army and you're in this area and you can kind of just look around. He's like, yeah, you can just, it's like, it reminded us of Breath of the Wild in a lot of sense. And we'll get into more of that, not just because it's open world, but we'll talk about that more as I get into it. But you can like look around and like, you see that mountain, you can go there, all that kind of stuff.
The Todd Classic.
The Todd Classic, exactly. But yeah, first of all, he made when I started, he's like, here, choose your outfit, because he goes, fashion's important. I'm like, yeah, this guy knows right away. Dude, the guy that demoed this with us was awesome. I loved this guy. He was so enthusiastic about the game and showing us all this cool tech. But anyways, yeah, you start off and third person action game. You know what it reminded me of, Dustin? It reminded me of what I wanted Dragon's Dogma 2 to be more like. I was like, oh, I wish Dragon's Dogma 2 was more like this. It feels like a better version of it to me, in my opinion. But anyways, yeah, you're running around and you have a ton of attacks. Like, I couldn't even figure out all the attacks right away. Like, this guy was telling me stuff. Then at the end of the demo, he's like, we got a couple minutes. Let me show you some stuff. And he was doing tech and moves I had not seen at all. I had no idea we're in the game. So there is a ton to this game. And you can also pretty much animation cancel everything. Like, every attack. So there is so much. There is a huge skill ceiling in this game. So much you can do. So
yeah, it started with, it was showing like there was like, you're basically in this like kind of like valley between mountains, and there was a big battle. So there's all these different like different forts set up. And so it'd take you to this area where you're like shooting these like mortar strikes on, and they're fully destructible, showing you like destroying these different things. But then I think the real meat of the demo was in this battle. So you're in the battle and there are so many enemies on screen and we were watching and I was like, dude, there's all these different enemies are all engaged in their own fight. And it shows the little mini map in the corner, and it was just littered with dots. Yeah. And you mentioned the combat. So there's like, of course, like your regular sword slash. And then
so I had a sword and shield. Yeah. But then you could swap weapons anytime, and you could swap. There's like an attack swap weapon as well. So you can swap normally, but you can also do an attack that swaps your weapon. You got your basic attack, but then there's like, he's like, hey, push R1 and R2 at the same time. And it does this like crazy attack. And he's like, hey, you could put an elemental effect on that weapon. So it's like, here's fire on it now. So when I do that move, like fire explosion happens. When I do that move now, there's like a lightning that slams down. There's one that frost that freezes guys and then they shatter. I was like, good Lord, there's a lot to this game.
Well, and the other thing too is that he was showing us that there's moves where you can basically you can grab enemies and then throw them. One of them, you grab an enemy and you're like swirling around. You're spinning them around.
Other guys with it and throw them. He's like, yeah, whatever direction. He's like, depending on the input direction you do it on, you will do a different move. He's like, if you grab someone and hold back, you will do like a crazy slam. If you hold forward, you'll throw them forward. Yeah. If you hold it like neutral, it'll do this other crazy move.
There was like a drop kick.
It was like a fighting game.
There was like a drop kick that looked like a wrestling move.
Yeah, he was like, hey, push triangle twice and hold it or something like that. He's like, if you hold it longer, it'll do the drop kick. But if you don't hold it as long, it'll do a different move. So I was like, this is like Bayonetta crazy action combat stuff.
The other thing, we haven't even mentioned this yet, is that, and dude, this guy that was showing the demo, masterful. Yeah. He's like, we haven't done any arrow. We haven't used your bow and arrow and all. And there's something a little special with that. So he's like, press L2 to pull out your arrow. And why don't you shoot over there? Yeah. So Brad shoots it. And then fucking, it was like a mortar strike. Yeah,
artillery strike.
So there's these specific arrows that bring in an artillery mortar strike to certain areas. And dude, the explosions were huge. This game's all about like particles and stuff. Yeah. And I was like, whoa.
Like blowing up towers, like and stuff like that.
Yeah.
Cannons where guys are shooting them. And dude, we haven't even talked about like any of the traversal or anything like that.
Right. And that's kind of the Breath of the Wild aspect of it. You have, in Breath of the Wild, you have that little circle dial. This game has something that's almost exactly like that. It's a little spiral thing. And so that's kind of your, like when you're running, that depletes. When you're climbing, which it looks like basically you can climb anything.
Pretty much, she told me,
in Breath of the Wild, There's also gliding.
Yeah,
and yeah,
I had this like you could like hold it. It was weird because you hold L3 and R3 and it like opens up this other sub menu, and you could like hook onto stuff like almost like a Spider-Man web swing and just like go to it. And while you do this, it kind of propels you, and you can like glide also after that. But he was doing stuff later on where it looked like he was actually like swinging around like Spider-Man. I was like, what? I didn't even know you could do that.
So it looked like there's this move where you are able to kind of like launch yourself in the air and then you can glide. Mm-hmm. The guy was showing us that you could do that multiple times.
Yeah.
Like, so then you're in the air gliding, and then you can do this slowdown thing where you can either do like a quick grapple to it, or if you press a different button, it's like a Spider-Man swing.
It was insane
from it. And so, yeah, the traversal. And the other thing he was showing us too was you can use the traversal as part of combat where you can launch yourself in the air and then it was like seriously anime style punching, and it like left a giant
he did like
crack
a dive
in the
kick
ground
that just like blew up the whole floor. Is awesome.
Brad, tell us about the boss fight.
Yeah, so I fought this boss fight, and it was interesting. I was fighting the guy, and I was kind of trying to dodge everything. And he's like, "It's not really like a Souls-like game." He's like, "You can dodge in combat, but he's like, it's not as. It doesn't work the same in this game because you have so much stuff that's like about like giving you iframes. Like a lot of these attacks give you iframes to avoid damage and stuff like that. So you're not constantly rolling the whole time, and you can block." But it was like this knight with a huge shield and all this kind of stuff. And he told me about this other move I didn't even know you could do in the game. He's like, you can hold up your sword. He's like, by pushing L1, you can hold up your sword and like flashes light off the blade of your sword. And it blinds the enemy for a second so you can get an attack. I was like, what?
Yeah.
You could do this kind of stuff? And he's like, oh, well, because it's only like your main weapon. So I guess whatever main weapon you have equipped, you can get a couple different things in this. But anyways, I was fighting this guy and he's doing crazy stuff. Like he's slamming the ground with his shield and like causing like earth shakes and all this kind of stuff. It looked like there was oil in the middle, and I wonder if you could set that on fire and like deal damage to him that way. But anyways, how you beat this guy is like, you don't do really much damage to him. He has like a stagger and you break it down. Once you do that, he kind of like gets in a vulnerable state. And I was hitting him, just not doing a lot of damage. Well, what you're supposed to do is you grab, there's like pillars in the room, like big columns you could pick up, and your character can like pick them up, like levitate, and then grab them. And you're supposed to grab, and it's like humongous, this thing you're holding. You swing and hit the boss, and it does like a ton of damage that way. So that was pretty much the mechanic of beating the guy. But like the guy was challenging. It definitely took me. I mean, I had so many moves, and I was kind of overwhelmed at that point because it's like 20 hours in the game. But he's like, yeah, of course we spent a lot of time easing you into these things. But for where I was, it was pretty gnarly right away.
Right.
But he was tough.
Yeah. Overall, man, it was visually a really good looking game.
And it seemed to run pretty well too.
It ran really, really well. We don't know
what it was on.
I'm assuming it was some kind of PC.
Yeah.
Or something like that. So I'm curious how it's going to run on consoles. But it looked really, really good. I mentioned the particles earlier. Like overall, like when you're walking around the show floor, you see all these games. We kept seeing this game earlier before you had played it and being like, whoa, this looks
it was insane,
crazy.
Yeah.
And then when you sat down to actually play it, I was like, this is way more crazy than I thought it would be.
Yeah.
And just the amount of enemies on screen was crazy.
Yeah, there was like there was one point I ran through like a lot of the guys, and like 30 guys were chasing me.
Yeah.
I just got like overwhelmed. It was crazy.
Yeah. This was, probably the biggest surprise of anything that we saw.
It was one of the most impressive things I played for sure.
Yeah. Just like, dude, I can't emphasize enough how cool these crazy moves where you're like picking guys
grappling
up and throwing them.
Yeah.
And it was pretty odd. This like skyrocketed to one of my most anticipated games.
Yeah.
Now.
And they were talking about like mounts, like I had a horse in it and stuff like that. But he was like talking about like, hey, you can get a dragon later on and fly on that thing. I was like, dude, this is what I wanted Dragon's Dogma 2 to be. So
yeah,
it's kind of hitting those highs for me.
So yeah, I'm curious about how the game, like this gameplay demo was specifically this battle, this boss fight, but clearly it's an open world game that's really heavy on traversal.
Yeah.
And I'm curious, like, how much like what that's exactly going to look like. Are we going to have a world that's huge like Breath of the Wild?
Mm-hmm.
Kind of seems like it.
Seems big.
But we don't know yet.
Yeah, we don't know yet. But find out soon, I guess.
Yeah.
No date, but we'll see. All right, Dustin, that's it for everything we played, I believe, that we can talk about at least.
Yeah, I think that's it. But Brad, as far as, I mean, we just mentioned that as being the standout. Any highlights, things you want to emphasize on?
Yeah, I mean, of course, we talked about this. Resident Evil and Onimusha, Capcom, Pragmata was all really good. I was really happy with Pragmata so far. Shinobi was awesome. I was so stoked about that game. But it really solid all around, dude. We got to play a lot of cool stuff.
Yeah. I'm trying to think, walking around the show floor, there were a few things that we weren't able to play that we wanted to, like the new Drinkbox game. I was hoping to get in to play that, wasn't able to. So trying to think what else. There was like that Marvel beat 'em up game that looked pretty cool.
Ninja Gaiden, like we said earlier. Yeah. There was some other like beat 'em up game, like the Emu stuff or the Dotumu. I don't know how you say it, but all their kind of stuff was great.
Yeah. So pretty much, I mean, we got to play the highlights, the main things we wanted to play.
Yeah. So I'm very happy with what we got to play.
But yeah, it was a great time. Thank you to all the publishers and developers for being accommodating. And overall, the Summer Game Fest, I mean, Jeff Keighley, it really is the play days itself are a really nice, really cool event. Felt very personable and very
it was good,
welcoming. They were very, I guess the main thing, accommodating.
Yeah, they were very accommodating.
So overall, really glad we got to come out. And of course, thank you to the audience. We wouldn't be able to do things like this without you.
Yeah.
So thank you.
Thanks, guys. All right, Dustin, it's time for Sort Out!
Ooh, wow.
Probably scared my parents there.
Probably. That is the craziest sort of. I'm glad I got to experience that in person.
Yeah.
Woo!
I do a little special.
I'm woken up now, dude.
It's a person. But in the same way, we just kind of talk about something that we're not too happy with in the gaming industry. Not pleased with. It needs a little work.
Needs a little work.
I'm fried right now, so I can't really think of anything off the top of my head, but maybe you can help guide me. So you want to think about it, we can go to the audience
Let's go to the audience first. Let's do that.
Okay. This is from JPZ890. Yo, Dustley and Braden. Big sorted out for Xbox for having a motherfucking Call of Duty as your one more game announcement. A game that releases every year should not get the hype spot. I would have preferred if they opened with it instead. Granted, I'm not sure what else would have filled that spot from the lineup, so maybe I need some sorting myself. Anyway, keep up the great work.
I'm of two minds about this. Okay. I agree that it probably shouldn't have been set up as a one more thing.
Yes.
I actually didn't see this part of the presentation.
No, I did not either.
The thing that is odd is that I saw a lot of people, and I still haven't seen this trailer. Keep that in mind.
Yeah.
It's been very busy,
we still
guys.
have to catch up on stuff.
We have to catch up on some stuff. Right. But one of the main things I saw was people were like, man, I was so interested in this trailer because it looked so interesting and different. And then it was fucking Call of Duty. I was like, well, I understand that we have had many Call of Duty games. We know what we're getting with them. But I'm like, if it looked good or if it sounded intriguing, then maybe
it's just not exciting for people, really.
Yeah.
People don't get, like, people are excited about Call of Duty, but they're not final thing hyped about it.
We're getting to the point of Call of Duty is like, what is this, Black Ops 7?
Yes, I think so. I think so.
It's just like,
I mean, we're like on Modern Warfare 3 again.
Yeah.
Like, we've already done this.
Right. Like, how many Black Ops 14?
Well, doesn't even matter.
It'll be like Final Fantasy.
Yeah, it doesn't even matter, man. They can just do 1 million. Doesn't matter.
They can just keep it going.
They should just do like Black Ops 55 next.
Yeah. Black Ops 55.
All right. Let's see here. This is from Cum Software. Ugh.
Oh, God.
Sorted out SGF. The show is financed by publishers showing the same game over and over again from the East, propping up games no one wants from the West.
Saying nobody wants.
Someone wants it.
Somebody wants it.
Jeff Keighley wants it.
Jeff Keighley wants it. Yeah. I get it.
Yeah, I get it.
I get it. Some of these, even in the room for some of these reveals and stuff, it was just kind of like,
Did you hear any groans?
No.
Okay.
No groans. Pretty respectful.
That'd be pretty funny.
Yeah. Pretty respectful crowd overall. I do think there is a thing, maybe this is like a light sorted out, where sometimes I was like, there were cheers and claps for things. And maybe this is just me, but I was like, are we only cheering and clapping because we're in the room? Is the excitement of the 100%. Moment.
That always happens.
So
it's like a respectful clap or like
right.
Courtesy clap.
Courtesy clap. Yeah. I get it. These things, my perspective is that like, there's going to be great announcements. There's going to be ones that are not so great that are helping pay the bills. Like these things don't happen for free.
Right. They don't.
So I don't know. You just take the good and the bad.
You take what you can get. Yeah. You take the good and the bad. That's all you can do. But I understand it. Yeah.
Yeah.
All right. Here we go. Carry on my wayward John.
Oh, that's a great name.
That is a good one. Hey, Summon Slits. I hardly write in, but I've had it. Sorted out with the Switch 2 hate. Let us be happy. Insert slop voice. Ew, it's only as powerful as a PS4. Wait, I can do that better. Insert slop voice. Okay. Ew, it's only as powerful as a PS4. There we go. Grow up. Have you played Horizon? Have you played Ghost of Tsushima? I'd say those are the most beautiful games I've ever played. Even Tears of the Kingdom looked great running on Switch 1. I'm sorry, Nintendo didn't birth a fucking 8K 360 FPS handheld with the graphics power of a god. Switch 2 is what I wanted, and apparently what a lot of people wanted, so sort it out, haters. My rant is over, and I'll peacefully listen while I take a nap on the train tracks with my noise-canceling earbuds in. Dude, our audience always trying to kill themselves.
Yeah. They
absolutely. Learned from our Sacred hosts.
From Sacred. Yeah. I totally agree. Sort this out. It is annoying where, I don't know, there's a million things that I don't like in this world, and people really enjoy it, and that's okay. I get, though, the perspective that some people feel like Nintendo is a bad actor and that they are pushing it too far with either pricing or things like that. And, I understand, but at the same time, if you don't like it, don't buy it. Let people enjoy things. Sure. Have fun.
Yeah.
I'm enjoying it.
Yeah.
It's been good.
Yeah, we've had fun. I need to spend a lot more time with it, but what I played, I've had fun with.
Yeah.
All right. Keep it up. The exact opposite. Stuff we're happy with. Dustin, can you think of anything right now, or do you want to go through people again?
Let's go through people again.
Here we go. We got Ed here. What's up, Brad and Dustin? I want to give a keep it up to Xbox. I haven't been an Xbox player since I got my third Ring of Death in 2008. But between how Xbox has been moving the last year or so and having just watched the summer showcase, the energy they're working with reminds me of PlayStation during the second half of the PS3 generation. There's a kind of corporate humility, that feels familiar. And it led to awesome games and cool ideas back then. And that seems to be the case now. Hope they keep it up for a while. And I advise Xbox fans to enjoy it because, as we saw with Sony, the humble energy won't last forever. Shout out to Summon Sign and LSM.
Ooh.
Yeah, look at that. We got a little shout out.
Yeah, Xbox is definitely obviously in a weird spot right now.
Yeah.
But yeah, I think it's cool, the handheld that they're doing. I don't want to say they're doing something different because there's been many PC handhelds on the market, but the fact that people have been complaining about gaming on Windows for these handhelds for a long time, and they're doing something about it. And it looks like it's going to be a massively improved experience. I think there's going to be a lot of crying when people see the price of that
it's gonna be
nicer
steep.
one. It's going to be steep.
Yeah.
But it's, in line with other handhelds. The ROG Ally and stuff like that are, high. So,
yeah.
But yeah, I agree. And I think too, even that, I don't know, maybe it's at this point, I'm so dulled to announcements and showcases and stuff like that and the days of E3 of like crazy shit.
Yeah, you can't get that very often.
Well, things are just doled out to us throughout the year now.
Yeah, it's not silent for a long time as much, or they talk to us much more frequently, I should say.
Right. So Yeah, the Xbox showcase, was fine.
Yeah.
It was pretty much all these showcases now are just like cool.
Yeah.
To me,
I heard they showed Silk Song only during like the ROG Ally thing.
Oh
Like,
yeah, it was like on the thing,
That's
man.
pretty funny, dude.
Rough.
Yeah, rough. Dude, just sort it out for me. Good job, Summer Game Fest. It was cool. It was really well done. I really appreciate it. This is my second time going to it, and same spot, but just very accommodating, like you're saying. So I was very happy with that.
Yeah.
So well done, everybody.
Yeah, and
It was well organized too. I felt like it was handled well.
it was cool to see a lot of people in the extended Last Stand universe. Shout out to Jason from Atari, who has been on
Summon Sign multiple times.
the show before.
Yeah.
So that was cool to talk to him. Shout out to our friend Ray. He is Jimmy's colleague running the Xbox Ready channel.
Yeah.
We got to hang out with him. So that was fun. Got to see
Alex, who we've had. He's
Slayer
in the
Giant,
community. He's in the community, yeah.
Yeah.
A couple of those dudes.
Our Code Vein demo was with Jake Baldino.
Yep.
Got to talk to him. So it was just cool because, especially for me, not doing any of these events for so many years, kind of missed that community aspect of it. So it was nice.
Cool. All right. Dustin, so there's a new segment on the show. This is the second time we've done it. Game recommendation. I just have someone recommend the audience a game. Of course we can take it, but it's not specifically for us.
Can we veto the recommendation if it's ass?
Sure, I'll allow it.
That's some Last Stand negativity.
Yeah, that's
right
what
there.
they come for. That's what they come for. But yeah, I take just one submission each week. I actually forgot to write about it in the rundown this week, but the audience knew already.
Oh, they remember. They'll know.
I just was so fried when I wrote it up. But here we go. This is from Captain Bon Clay.
Oh, dude.
Howdy, boys. I have a game recommendation for the new section. It's called The Midnight Walk, a wonderful dark fantasy adventure game about a clay world where all fire has been long since went out. You escort the last fire named Pop Boy down the Midnight Walk to uncover the mystery of what happened to this dying world. It's a fantastic adventure game entirely made with 3D scanned clay models, which gives it a very Tim Burton look. It unfortunately got overshadowed releasing after Expedition 33 and Oblivion. I thoroughly enjoyed the game, and I hope other people will too. By the way, I'm taking recommendations for games to play. Currently 82 games in so far this year. Got anything to recommend to me? Wow. This game, I've been keeping an eye on. It does look really cool. And he is right. It just came out on unfortunate timing.
Yeah, I'm looking, because I remember this game.
Yeah.
Man, overwhelmingly positive.
Yeah.
On Steam.
It's on VR too. I think PSVR 2.
PlayStation VR.
Yeah.
Yeah, this game did come out at a bad time, because I remember when this got revealed and being interested in it. So I will not veto this game recommendation. It's approved. By the boys. And so, yeah, I got to check this out. But if I'm being honest, right now it's crazy. So maybe
it's crazy.
We'll see.
I'm dying, man. Can't keep up. It's too brutal. All right, Dustin, Switch 2 came out. I got my Switch 2 launch night at Best Buy. Right when you landed here. I picked you up. We went to In-N-Out. We went to Best Buy because they're right by each other. Longest line I've ever seen for a gaming thing ever at Best Buy. It was an insane line. So you and me were like, let's just go back and eat. Let's go eat, then we'll come back. I picked it up. Great. You were supposed to get one delivered here that I had another one, but it got delayed till later. So what we did is the next day, we just walked into another Best Buy and you picked one up. This Mario Kart bundle.
No problem.
No problem. Super easy. So we did a stream, you and me playing Switch 2 together. And you've probably played more Switch 2 than I have, but I guess just kind of what are your general thoughts so far on Switch 2?
General thoughts on Switch 2. So yeah, that launch night was pretty crazy, seeing that huge line. Yeah. Also, unreasonably nice Best Buy employees.
They were so nice.
They were like standing at the door.
Hey
like,
guys, thanks for coming.
Thanks for coming out tonight. Hope you have fun.
Yeah,
it's
I was like, what?
All right, okay, thank you.
Yeah, what's the catch, man? What do you...
But, so yeah, initially getting to see yours, and then of course I got mine. The main thing right off the bat, because a lot of people that talked to us this weekend, whether other listeners or some of our friends, are like, "What do you think about Switch 2?" And the main thing right out of the box, I was like, "Whoa!" The build quality on this feels
Dude, hold
good.
on. Let's show
Brett, hold on, he's not on mic. Just how tiny the box
tiny
is.
the box is for Switch 2. Look at this. Look how tiny this is.
Nice
This is the entire box.
This will be good for me to put in my luggage.
Yeah.
To get
It's
home.
so small, man. It's crazy.
Yeah. Nice little box.
Yeah.
Compact. But pulling it out, there's something about it feels like a steady progression where the Wii U tablet felt like a Fisher Price toy.
Oh, yeah.
Hollow, nasty. Then you move up to
Grody.
Switch where a lot better, but not like, you know, the Joy-Cons on the end feel like a little like shaky.
Yeah.
Like wiggly. And now moving up to, and Switch OLED was, of course, even better.
Mm-hmm.
You got the nice metal kickstand, things like that. This one feels even better. And man, the locking Joy-Cons on it feels super solid. The screen, despite not being OLED, is really good. Really nice.
Yeah, it is a nice screen.
And to be clear, I was thinking this when I was one of the nights that when we were like, yeah, we're tuckered
Just
out.
going to sleep, yeah.
I was trying to do a race, and there was a part where like the screen went to black and there was like a little loading thing. This might have been on Rune Factory, and I was like, yeah, it is. It's not OLED contrast.
No, yeah, it's not.
But you're only really going to notice that on the really dark, contrasty parts.
Mm-hmm.
But when you're playing like Mario Kart World or something, it's like, don't even notice.
Right.
Right. But yeah, so far, one thing that we were discussing on launch night is that I was like, we were like, wow, this is great. This part's great. This part's great. I was like, you know, we got to be fair though, because it feels like some of the things that we think are great about this are just solutions to problems that Nintendo created with the original Switch. It's like, man, look at the kickstand. It's like, dude, what was that kickstand on the OG Switch?
Yeah, it was not good.
The eShop is actually functional.
Yeah.
Which is like, are you...
It works? What?
Dude, I don't know what the fuck happened with the OG Switch 1. And I mean, up to Switch OLED, it didn't matter.
Right.
Dude, the eShop was just terrible.
Not
and so
pleasant.
it actually works right. So yeah, some of these is just like quality of life stuff that it's like finally feels like you're playing a Nintendo system in the modern day. Because dude, Switch came out in 2017, long time ago at this point. So overall, my impressions of the hardware are very good. We played a little bit docked on that stream, so I haven't got to plug it in and see how it holds up on my 65-inch 4K OLED. So I'm assuming that's going to be really nice. The main thing right now is just that if you were heavily invested in Switch and played, you know, Breath of the Wild, things like that, there's not a lot here.
Sure.
There's Mario Kart,
Which is good so far.
which is, has been really good. And we're going to have Donkey Kong next month. But
There's fireworks. That was crazy. What the hell was that?
This is the Mac Effects. It must have seen. Wait, is it? Okay,
Yeah, it was
it's
like a thumbs
not.
up thing. That was crazy. We just had some fireworks go off.
Dude, that was
for audio listeners. That was cool.
Thank you, Tim Apple, for that
thanks,
effect.
Apple. Thanks, Tim Apple. Tim Apple.
So yeah, it just feels a little light right now, where that's why I bought that Rune Factory game, because this happens to me every time a console comes out, that it's like I get the one or two games I really want, and then
You want to play more on it.
I want to see what else is out here for it. So, but Brad, what do you think about Switch 2 so far?
You know what? With the hardware so far, I am happy overall. You know, I'm not really a handheld person. I don't play my Switch handheld like ever. I'm not one of those people that like sits on the couch. And I totally see the appeal of it, but I never do that. I'm very much like a person that likes to be at my desk or like a chair gaming. And I really like the new Joy-Cons. First of all, they're much bigger than the old ones. The old baby ones were so tiny. These new ones feel way better. And I really like the magnet with them. It's not like you don't slide it on the top like you used to in the old one. Again, that sound, it's just like, just locks in.
Yeah.
It's really satisfying. Also, the Pro Controller, dude, is really nice. The new Pro Controller. It's really good. Like, you look at it and you're like, okay, it's pretty much the same. It has back buttons on it too, which is really cool. But something about it just feels better. It's like the texture of it.
Let me grab mine.
Yeah, get your stuff, Dustin. Just go get your stuff.
Oh wait, I'm gonna be exposed for wearing my flannel and gym shorts.
Wow. What a nerd. Flannel gym shorts. Dude, let's shame Dustin's fashion. He has no style, nothing. He needs to work on that wardrobe. You get that in shape, Dustin. All right, here he comes. All right, Dustin's holding up his Switch right now. So you can see it right there. Can you play them or like have them hear the magnet?
All right, yeah, here. This is for the ASMR. Yeah. Everyone in the car right now.
All right, listen up. There you go.
Oh.
Yeah.
Yeah, dude, everything is just like, man, the which some of this was Switch OLED, like the improved kickstand was part of the Switch OLED. Pretty nice. But the other thing too is just you mentioned about the Joy-Cons being bigger. Everything just is a little bit bigger. The screen on this
quite a bit larger.
I'm on the way out here was playing Steam Deck OLED and pulling this. I was like, whoa, that screen is big. It's nice. But yeah. What do you think about Mario Kart World?
So far from what I've played, I'm enjoying it. Dude, there's so much I have to dive into this game though, because I only really played it on that stream we did, and we mostly just raced viewers, which is really fun. First of all, pretty easy to get a room going to invite people. Like I invited you, I invited Gene. Yeah, Gene joined us and used the camera, which was really funny.
Yeah, that was fun.
Little Gene there in the bottom, and like then he could like blow it up. You see like Jack laying on his chest and all that kind of stuff.
Jack on his chest.
Yeah, very unfortunate tweet there, Gene. But it was pretty funny. Of course, it runs like at 10 frames per second when you're doing that camera share. Like we were sharing our screens with each other.
It totally didn't affect our screen at all.
Like personally playing, it doesn't affect your screen. But it's like if you want to see it, it doesn't look good, like particularly, but it's something I guess if you're into that. But I had a lot of fun racing against people. I love the I think it's called Knockout Tour. I love that mode where you have to get a certain, like, you have to be in a certain place or you get knocked out of the race. Almost like a battle royale kind of mode for it. I thought that was really fun. Some of the new tracks were really cool. Like Rainbow Road was awesome.
Dude, Rainbow Road in this game slaps. So really cool.
So good. I love a lot of the new tech, like being able to, like the jump you can do now, and you can grind on the rails and like the wall ride. All that stuff's really cool. And I feel like there's a higher skill cap. Maybe just because I haven't played enough, but it's like, okay, cool. There's things I can get better at. I feel like a lot better at. So I can't wait to dive into that more. I've only done a little bit of the open world. It's cool the world is open, but I don't really know if it's that interesting or that deep to it. Like there's like P switches you can do for like blue coins and a couple stuff. You can unlock different costumes, I guess, by some things like finding the fast food bags occasionally. But I don't know what else you can really get from it.
I feel like the free roam mode, in my mind, I overhyped what it would be. Not overhyped. I guess it literally is just drive around. You can collect P switches and do the little challenges, which I think you get stickers for. But I remember seeing tweets and stuff that was like, it's like Mario Kart and Forza Horizon. It's like, no. You're not going to be driving up and doing races.
Right.
As far as I know. It's mainly just a fun way to drive around the big open world. And for that reason, it feels like a little bit of a missed opportunity where it's like you built this giant interconnected Mario Kart world. Mm-hmm. It would be cool to have a single player, almost story-esque mode. Not that it takes advantage of its open world in that it has like when you do the cups, all the tracks
they connect. I really like that.
Which
is cool.
Yeah, and dude, the knockout mode. Mm-hmm. Knockout mode is real fun.
Yeah, it's so fun. And I like some of the new maps that we played, like we say in Rainbow Road. Like I have to play a lot more of them, but I liked the dinosaur map where there's like the dinos walking around. Mm-hmm. There's like the T-Rex. I really like a lot of the characters you can unlock. Really weird, goofy characters, not what you'd expect. Like, they're all, like, deeper Mario cuts. Like, you can get the dolphin from Super Mario World.
Dude, and you can get the dolphin motorcycle.
So you can have the dolphin riding. Yeah.
I was enjoying the Bumblebee guy. Wiggler is in there.
Yeah.
He's wiggling around. Feels a little pervy for some reason.
As he does.
There's lots of crazy-ass characters, as I'm sure many people have seen.
The penguin from Mario 64.
Yeah.
Throw off a ledge.
I don't think at least in my game, I don't think I've unlocked the cow. Unless it's maybe it's a standard.
I don't know.
I don't remember.
The last guy I unlocked was Donkey Kong because I did 1 cup.
Yeah.
I was able to do 1 cup.
Yeah, I've unlocked one other character.
Okay.
It's Daisy.
Oh, okay, nice.
I was like, eh.
Yeah, you can
Sorry,
it's
not
cool.
Daisy guy.
You're not a Daisy guy?
No. Peach. I'm a Peach
holder?
man.
What about Peach or Rosalina?
Rosalina.
Okay.
She's like kind of has an emo girl
you
vibe.
like those tall ladies, huh?
I like the emo girl vibe.
Okay.
Tall lady, I mean, sure, why not?
Sure.
But that's not what does it for me.
Yeah, you like the bang covering the eye.
The bang covering the eye. Yeah. Okay.
I like that some of the characters have different outfits. I think that's kind of fun to unlock them. I think it's handled kind of poorly in how you change the costume. Like, it's a separate character slot on the roster.
Yeah.
You should just pick the character, then pick the costume.
It feels like in Smash Brothers, like
you just like push like Y or X and it changes the skin.
Right. Yeah. It's like Toon Link or Young Link. It would occupy 2 slots, but now it's just like you can alternate between them. I think that's one of them. But
no, I think that's separate.
Oh, they're separate?
I think it's still separate now.
Okay. Well,
but but to be fair, they have like a couple different stats and stuff like that.
Okay.
Like some things do more damage than others.
Either way, in Mario Kart World, every individual costume should not occupy a character slot.
When Mario
it's
has
stupid.
like 5 costumes, yeah. How do you feel about the cars, like the no customization? I'm actually kind of happy about that.
I'm happy about it because it became a huge pain when playing multiplayer that people would sit there. If they haven't, I don't know, some people just like click, go. Mm-hmm. But maybe I'm calling out Holly a little bit because Holly would really get in there and customize. I'm like, come on. So I still haven't figured out like what my optimal cart is what stats that I really want to go for. But I like that it's kind of condensed in that. For a Mario Kart game, I don't need to be like figuring out the exact right stats for each thing.
Mm-hmm. I think it's cool actually how your cart transforms depending on the environment. Like I really like how it like turns into the jet ski kind of thing. It's not like 8 where you just go underwater, you know?
Right.
It's a little propeller. It's like, no, you're actually on top of the water. Reminds me of Wave Race, or like you get the plane wings and stuff like that. So I think that stuff's really cool. The wall riding, like I said earlier, is really sick, especially if you like grind, then you wall ride on something, grind again. Feels nice. It's like Tony Hawk.
I've been seeing clips on Twitter of people that are like, look how far I can go in this map without even taking the main course.
Dude, that's
where
really
they're like
cool.
Grinding, hopping around, doing all kinds of stuff.
Crazy.
Awesome.
Yeah, I really like that kind of stuff. I can't wait to dive more into that. The other game we played a lot of for Switch 2 was Welcome Tour. Well, not a lot, but we played a decent amount of it and we messed around with it. $10, Welcome Tour. It is like the Welcome Tour to Switch 2. And what do you think about it so far?
This is a tough one, Brad, because should it be free?
Yes,
it should be free. So if you feel very strongly about that, don't buy it. But if you do buy it and we take that element out of the picture, right? It feels like what you're getting is worth $10. Mm-hmm. Some of the mini games, like we were playing the Digital Foundry game where you
the frame rate one,
the frame rate.
We need to do that for Micah.
There's one where you do the mouse mode and you have to like dodge all these like mines coming down. We didn't get super deep into it, but the mini games were cool. There's the one that shows like the actual pixels of Mario in a 4K screen.
Yeah, it's
really tiny and it starts slowly scrolls and opens up.
Yeah.
That was kind of cool.
Dude, the one where you have to like you feel the rumble in the controller and you have to like find the perfect spot where it rumbles.
Oh,
and be, close, dude. That one was cool too.
Yeah. I haven't bought it because I was just going to wait till I get home. I think I am going to because I think it'll be fun for Holly and I. Like, I can't imagine myself sitting down and be like, I'm going to spend the evening playing Welcome Tour. So, but I think it'll be fun for Holly and I.
Dude, I can
play
imagine
together.
with like kids, it'd be like a fun thing just to mess around with your kids. Like
right.
Little mini games.
Yeah.
I can see that. How do you feel about like going on the Switch 2 and like finding the things to interact with to unlock new games? Like, you know, we had to like find all the buttons or something.
Oh, we had to do the stamp rally, which is so Japanese. Like when I was in Japan, there's like go to the One Piece stores and get a stamp at each one and then redeem this thing, or at this temple, go to each thing to get a stamp. So that I kind of like that aspect of it, but I think that it's a way to kind of make it more of an experience. You got to unlock things and gives you the curiosity of like, what other mini games am I going to unlock? And some of these are kind of hard, like to get the full,
to get like the 3 rank medal or whatever.
Yeah, they're tough.
Yeah, they're pretty challenging. But yeah, just so you know, if you to do everything in the game, that you need to have like the camera and all that stuff. I don't know if you need the Pro controller or not. I'm not sure.
Yeah, I'm not sure either.
So just keep that in mind if you're gonna play. But it's been kind of interesting for us to check it out. So yeah. Also, we tested out a bunch of the Switch 1 games. We booted up both Zelda games. By both Zelda games, I mean we booted up 3 Zelda games. We did Tears of the Kingdom, and we did Echoes of Wisdom.
Yeah.
And boy, Tears of the Kingdom looks insane now. It's like night and day playing these games now on Switch 2.
It is going to be tough to not. Here's what's going to happen. I'm going to be honest with myself and the audience. Probably on the plane ride home, I'm going to play the first hour or 2 of Tears of the Kingdom. I might play a little more when I get home, and I'm going to get sidetracked.
Yeah.
And so I know that I will not do a full replay of Tears of the Kingdom.
Right. I mean, it's a massive game.
But since I have online and I have the upgrade for free, I'm definitely going to play a little bit of it. For sure. Because, man, it looks really good.
Yeah.
And playing it at 60 frames, dude.
Yeah, it's so nice.
Oh,
HDR.
It's nice.
Yeah. So we did that. We did Echoes of Wisdom and seemed much more stable from what I remember playing through it. So that was very good. Very happy about that.
Low key shout out. Mario Odyssey.
Yeah.
Has a increased resolution.
Yeah, Dustin got real close to the screen. I was like looking at the pixels. Yeah. Had HDR on it as well, increased resolution. Yeah, a lot of the games got upgrades. Pokemon Scarlet looked way better.
Yeah. Yeah, that definitely looked a lot better.
Huge difference.
I was playing it. I was like, this definitely looks a lot better. I'm still not going to play it.
but it's like playable now.
It seems playable.
It seems playable. So that was a huge step up. I'm trying to think about, did we test anything else out? For like Switch 1 games, I'm trying to recall off the top of my head.
We tried out Bowser's Fury.
Yeah.
And that runs at a way better frame rate than it did on Switch 1.
Okay.
Was there anything else?
I don't know. I can't recall.
There's some other updates.
I mean, there's more updates, but I'm just trying to think about what we played.
Yeah. I could talk about Rune Factory for a minute.
Yeah.
Rune Factory, I've never played a Rune Factory game.
Okay.
But I wanted to check it out because, as the audience may remember, I've been playing Stardew Valley with Holly. And so I was like, oh, a nice farming game with Fire Emblem-looking characters and some combat and RPG stuff. I'm very early in the game, so I guess I really don't have a lot to say other than it isn't running quite as well as I would hope. Like it runs at 60. Stinky. It runs at 60, but it does seem to like hitch here and there. And it doesn't look like it's running at a full 1080p sharpness of what I've played on. I've only played it in handheld mode, but yeah, I was going around playing some turnips. Got to fight some stuff. So I will report back on that later. Just as a warning, if you really care about the performance, I think it's also on PS5 and PC, so you might want to play it there. I bought it on Switch because Holly is interested in playing as well. And weirdly, if you buy the Switch 2 version of that, it'll work on Switch 1.
That is strange.
Even though it's a red cart. Yeah,
that's weird.
So there's certain cross-compatible games, and that's one of them.
Yeah. We also checked out GameCube real quick. The Virtual Console GameCube was added. There's only 3 games right now. There is Wind Waker, there is Soul Calibur 2, and F-Zero GX. Booted up all 3 of them a little bit. Look pretty good.
I was surprised that the up-res in them looks pretty good. Pretty nice. You're not going to get like a Dolphin experience where it's like, oh, this is in 60 frames now or anything like that. But
it's pretty good.
It was better than I expected from Nintendo emulation, and that's just on a first glance from maybe 15 minutes.
We know we play each game like 10 minutes maybe or something like that. Maybe that. We also used the GameCube controller. I have the wireless controller. I have the one from Wii U still, the adapter that came with you could get for Smash then. So you can use a regular GameCube controller if you have that adapter, which is cool. Because I don't have the wireless one, but that is also available on Nintendo's website if you're a member.
If you pay for online, you have the privilege to give them more money.
Yeah,
for a controller.
It wasn't available recently, but yeah. Was there anything else on Switch 2 we played? I just can't recall off the top of my head. It's been a little bit.
We played it's not called Fast RMX. That was
yeah. What is it called? Yeah, just look it up real quick.
Let me look it up.
But yeah, we played this racing game, like a hover car racing futuristic thing, almost like Wipeout, I would say.
Fast Fusion.
This was $15. Cool little game. Just a cool little racing game.
Yeah, it's like super fast paced, kind of like F-Zero or something. You got to switch between your phases in order to like get certain boosts
red
and stuff
and
like
blue,
that.
Yeah.
The main thing I'll say is that people are talking about how this was like a showpiece graphical game. It does have multiple modes like performance and quality, stuff like that. I was going in expecting to be really impressed. It is really good looking, but it's not going to like blow your socks off.
I mean, it's $15, but it's cool.
But it's a fun game, and it is visually really good.
Yeah, I enjoyed it. All right, we're back. Just had a quick break there. The sun has gone down now. Now it is nighttime.
Now we get the nighttime vibe.
That freak vibe.
Ooh. Don't say that. It's going to lead into the jokes.
Oh, yeah.
Dustin Bragg getting freaky.
It's like the freaks come out when it's a full moon.
Right.
That's what I mean. Like,
oh, right. Is it full moon?
I don't know. Maybe. But I'm just saying it reminded me of that. It's like, hey, if it's a full moon out there, be careful. The freaks are out. Yeah. You never know what they're going to get into.
Sure.
All right, Dustin, one more game. This has nothing to do with Summer Game Fest or Switch 2 or anything like that. But you and me, or the past week or two, have been playing Elden Ring Nightreign together quite a bit. You, me, we had fill in like Jimmy, we had Ben in there, we had Brandon. But you and me have played a lot together. I talked about this last episode, so I want to kind of hear what you think about the game.
Yeah, so Elden Ring Nightreign, pretty big departure, a new experiment. And I think that's a good way to put it as far as what it is. I am having a ton of fun with it. The recurring thing, well, no, let's say positive first. I really like how easy it is to hop in. Yeah. Because when we played the network test, we still had to use like a code and stuff like that. No, that's not the case. I can just go to my Steam friends, invite the people I want to invite. We're set. And matchmaking, if we need, it's just two of us, we need to put one more in. It's easy to get somebody. The quality of that player will vary. Right. But I think that as like time goes on and we've weeded out all the scrubs, the casuals that maybe played it and bounced, or not only that, but also people that figure out and are learning, know how to play the game now. Not that we were perfect, because we immediately, like within the first week, we were like, oh shit, we were doing this totally wrong, or we didn't have the right strat, right? So yeah, I'm honestly absolutely loving it. Good. And it's interesting because I've seen kind of the mixed response from it. And I get that it's not going to be for everybody. Right. Some people some people play From Software or Souls games and they never engage with any of the multiplayer aspects of it. I love that you can sit down and have a condensed From Software game experience within a span of 30 minutes. Starting out weak, very quickly progressing to being more powerful, having some of those options as far as what you choose for your gear, being able to experience a crazy boss fight. It's all in there. It's like this really awesome condensed experience. So yeah, for that, I'm having an absolute great time. I mentioned at the beginning of this being an experiment. And through the hours that we've played together, there's been many times where I'm like, if only it had this. If only it had this, right? Like we were talking, and we haven't beaten it, obviously. I think we're about halfway through. I'm like, man, wouldn't it be cool to have a Caelid map? Yeah. Now, we did play the one level where it transformed a large portion of the map to being like a snowy mountain. And there's like one that's like a volcano. So maybe that's kind of the way they can kind of mix that in there. But I'm like, man, I think it would be cool if there was a completely different map in this game. And there's DLC coming, so maybe that's going to be in there as well. But the game is, I mean, it's open-ended, and then let's like go, you can kind of do whatever you want. eventually the Nightreign will come in and kind of point you to one specific area. But what we learned very quickly, it's like, no, you really need to kind of do these steps if you want to succeed. You like take out these low level enemies, level up to level 2 or 3 as soon as possible. And once you hit like level, I don't know, 4 or 5, it's like bosses. Don't even waste your time with the lower enemies. They're not going to give you very many souls or whatever. You really got to focus on the bosses, leveling up your gear, and you don't have time to mess around. Like, you have got to be going and either leveling up, getting gear, getting a smithing stone, something like that. All really, really important, because we had early on many runs where it was like we were getting to the last boss, but we were just getting crushed when we got there. So that's something you just got to learn as you go along the way. I'm really enjoying the different character classes. Initially, I was playing as the bird boy.
Right, the guardian, yeah.
The bird boy, while is cool, is not my playstyle.
Yeah, he's very tanky.
He's a tank. He's not
blocking.
He's got a really lame dodge because he's meant to take attacks, not be dodging. He's an awesome ultimate ability where he like does this cool like dive bomb, really good at reviving other teammates that are down. Not for me. So I have mainly played as either the Wilder or as the Hawkeye. Iron Eye.
Yeah.
Dude, Iron Eye. Come on, bro.
That's his name, yeah. I know you keep calling him Hawkeye from Dark Souls.
Hawkeye or Legolas or whatever. So he's the bow character that I've never played Elden Ring or any From Software game primarily as a bow player, but man, it
works well here.
It works really well. You don't have to worry. Unlimited arrows the whole time. There's no like different types of arrows. So much more ranged. He's a little squishy, which makes sense because you aren't necessarily going to be up close and personal.
Right.
I love he has this ability where he can mark targets where he kind of hits them with like a dagger, and that gives you 10% bonus.
I don't know what the damage is.
You get a little bonus
damage
buff,
something,
when this mark is on. So it's a little bit of a risk reward with some of these bosses where you're a little squishy, so you want to avoid getting hit by the boss. But if you can get in and get this mark, your whole team is going to do more damage, and that's really awesome. So he's also really good at reviving teammates that are down because it's ranged. So it's been fun figuring out the different team dynamics. And it's like, okay, we always want to have someone that's ranged. And I know you've been wanting to dive into like the spellcaster character.
I think her name's the Revenant.
The Revenant, right?
She has like summons and stuff.
Yeah. So overall, I really like it. I've been sad this past week that we haven't been able to.
We haven't played at all.
We haven't been able to play, so we're going to be rusty when we get back. But once we get a good flow, like I think one day I think we took out 2 bosses.
I think 3. Maybe 2 or 3, something like that.
2 or 3.
We helped someone, I think, maybe Brandon.
Yeah, we helped somebody out. So I love it, and it makes me more excited for Duskbloods because I'm hoping they're taking in a lot of the feedback. That one's more PvP and PvE, more extraction. Yeah, I think so. It is going to be different, but I think it's a amazing use of the Elden Ring assets. Really creative, and I think it's cool that From Software, it's like, it might not be for everybody, and that's okay. They were able to create a new experience from what they had in a really unique way.
Yeah. I agree. Super fun. Like I said, I agree with you. There's some things that I think need tweaking, a little work. They're taking some steps in the right direction. I'm happy they were adding a 2-player mode in the future, because right now you can only queue up for 3.
Right.
Or you can go solo offline.
Not recommended,
but they did buff solo offline now, so they made it a little easier. You can get extra runes now, and you get a free revive, I think, at every boss. So they've done something to help solo play. But yeah, 2-player groups is coming in the future, so I'm happy about that. And it is, like you're saying, it's all about finding the right route and not really wasting time getting that feeling going. So a lot of experimentation in there, but I'm having a good time playing it. Like you said, not for everybody, definitely not, but
right.
If you're playing with a group of friends, you're gonna have a good time probably.
Yeah, the rune system too is pretty interesting, where you can like apply different buffs to characters. Like I've really leaned into some of them give you extra. They're not called vials. Like the health use
Flasks?
A flask.
Yeah.
So you get like extra flasks, so you don't need to go. I mean, you still want to get them at the church, but it's really helpful for Iron Eye, who's a little squishy, to have those extra flasks right off the bat. So yeah, I'm really, happy with it. And I'm really curious about what they're going to do for DLC. Like, I hope it's the worst case scenario is that they're like, oh, we've added 3 new more bosses.
I think they need more bosses so far. Because like you do a level, like how it works is you pick a boss you want to fight, like the main Night Lord bosses or whatever. And that's always the same at the end. But the bosses you get are random during the first 2 days or whatever. But it seems like each level has a pool of a certain amount of bosses. So like we've gotten the Sentinel, a lot of times. So I haven't seen a lot of the bosses still yet. And maybe they only show up at certain levels. I wish it was more random in that sense. Right? I feel like I didn't know anyone could be at any time.
Yeah.
But yeah. All right. Dustin, let's end the show with some questions from the audience write-ins.
Okay.
Like we said earlier, if you want to write into the show, patreon.com/laststandmedia. God, tired, man. But yeah, we post threads for all of our shows there. So if you want to write into any of them, keep an eye out there. All right, here we go. This is from Meat Hoss. Hey guys, Dustin, I have to know your thoughts on In-N-Out. What was your order? And where did you rank it against other fast food burgers? As a California/OC native myself, I think it's the best value for money burger you can get, especially if you go animal style plus chilies, animal style fries, and Neapolitan shake.
Whoa.
Thanks. I'll hang myself and listen.
So this is my first time having In-N-Out. Obviously, it's been many years.
Yeah,
though.
for a while. Yeah.
So I'm pretty basic. I'm a picky eater, but I did get like cheese and got the grilled onions.
Yeah.
The first night, or I guess we've been twice. So when Brad picked me up, I got a 3x3 because Brandon said,
that was insane.
Brandon was like, you gotta do it for me, bro. I was like, okay, I can handle that. As far as where it ranks, you're right. It is the value for money.
Yeah, it is the best value for money.
Brad picked me up from the airport and I want to show my appreciation. So I bought him dinner that night. So for us to have, full meal with drinks, $25.
Yeah, for 2 people.
Can't beat that.
That's not too bad.
Not bad.
For like good quality fast food.
Yeah. Like, is a Five Guys burger better? Yes, absolutely.
You're spending like $15, $12.
Dude, at least.
Yeah, on a burger.
Holly and I went a few weeks ago and it was $38.
Yeah, that's crazy.
I was like,
almost $20 a person.
I was like, nah. I think I'm good. I will eventually get it again.
Yeah,
I'll
of course.
just be like,
yeah, of course.
But
it's a once in a while thing.
Yeah, luckily there are none close to me. There's like, it's on the drive home places usually.
So where do you rank it? Yeah, best top 5?
Oh, it's a top 5.
Okay,
absolutely.
Okay.
Yeah, like
top 3.
If you put it against the main chains like McDonald's, Wendy's, Burger King, it's the top. It really competes against the fast casual places. Yeah. Way better than Shake Shack. Shake Shack, mid. Shake Shack is, every time I've had, I'm like, this is
Mid Shack.
Yeah, dude, Mid Shack. Yeah, exactly. It's just, I don't know what people see in that place.
I like Shake Shack, but I don't think it's like incredible. Like, I'm down to eat it.
Yeah, I mean,
I'm not like Shake Shack. Shake Shack.
I don't know why some people rank it number 1. It's not bad.
Not for me.
It's mid. It's Mid Shack.
Mid Shack.
Yeah.
Someone's screaming right now in their car.
Good. Leave a hate comment.
No!
It'll fuel me.
Yeah. All right, here we go. AJ White. Hey, Summon Gang. Or hey, Summon Gang. Wow. What are your thoughts on Ill? I forgot it was teased years and years ago, and I gotta say, now it seems like the perfect generation to release it, with no modern hardware making the visuals really come to life. Oh, wait, I'm sorry. With modern hardware making the visuals really come to life. The physics, atmosphere, and dismemberment look fantastic. Was I the only one feeling the blood rushing in my nether regions, or were you guys feeling the same way? Thanks, boys. We forgot to bring this up. Dude, I keep forgetting to bring this game up, but it does look very good every time I see it. I don't know why it just keeps escaping my brain. I don't know why.
Yeah, I'm surprised. I didn't even know that it was already announced before. This was a game when we saw Chris on Friday night that we were talking about with him, and he's like, yeah, this was
he was
super impressive. There's the part with the weird like giant head.
Yeah, the giant baby.
The
Resident Evil Village part.
The baby kick at the end. It's like, what is going on in this? So yeah, I like it because I know obviously it's easy to compare to like Resident Evil, and stuff like that, but it definitely feels different. So I was impressed. I don't remember if there's a release date or anything.
I can't recall.
This is another trailer that I want to review when I'm home.
Yeah, definitely need to give it another look-see. All right. This is from Sam. Hey, Summoners, I need your help. One of my coworkers has been trying to secure a Switch 2 for his wife for weeks. Long story short, he caught a ride with me when I went to lunch and we both got Switches, as I impulse bought thinking these would be hard to find. The problem is that I never really planned on what to play with this thing, or if I even wanted one. I missed out on almost the whole Switch library save for 3 games I borrowed from my brother when he was living with me. Breath of the Wild, Tears of the Kingdom, and Metroid Dread. I am not a big Mario fan, so I didn't bother with those. What games do y'all recommend for someone who didn't play the Switch much? I have a copy of Bayonetta 3, which I bought but never opened after seeing the disappointing performance on Switch 1. So far, I just stuck the thing in my closet and I haven't figured out if I want to return it yet because I didn't really feel like I missed out on the Switch 1. Prime 4 looks cool and Donkey Kong might be an exception for my platformer aversion, but I don't feel particularly in a hurry to play either. Thanks, and just remember to get some actual sleep, you two. All right.
I'm not answering your question now. Yeah. So should he keep it? What games? I guess that's kind of, he didn't ask if he should keep it, but what games?
What games should he play that he missed on Switch 1, do you think?
Yeah. I mean, he's already got Breath of the Wild and Tears of the Kingdom.
Which are 2 huge ones. He doesn't want Mario, which are quality games, but he doesn't want that.
No Mario. I'm thinking about if he doesn't like Mario, then he's not going to want to play Animal Crossing. Maybe.
It's not a platformer.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Animal Crossing's nice. It's not a game that's going to take up, it'll take up a lot of your time over time, but it won't necessarily be like hours and hours that you're playing every day. Splatoon 2 and 3.
Sure.
Both really fun.
How about Pikmin?
Oh, dude, Pikmin 4 rules. I was telling you earlier this week that Pikmin 4 is my first Pikmin game, and I absolutely fell in love with it.
Okay. Played
all of it. So that's a really good one. Fire Emblem 3 Houses, if you like strategy. I prefer 3 Houses over Engage. I think I'm in the minority on that because it has like Persona type stuff in it. So that was a game I really liked on Switch. Astral Chain.
Yeah, Astral Chain. If you like Bayonetta, Astral Chain, from my understanding, is an action game as well for Platinum. So you can do that. Xenoblade 1, 2, and 3 are there. I don't know if you like those kind of games, but
yeah,
I haven't played 3 yet, but people love 3 and stuff like that. So those are there as well. Yeah, missing out on platformers is a big problem for Nintendo, for Switch, dude, because all the the Donkey Kong games are excellent on there as well. Mario Kart, for sure. I mean, if you got a Switch 2, maybe you got the Mario Kart bundle. So maybe skip 8, I guess. I don't know. Off the top of my head, I'd have to look at my library and really think about it, but I don't have them in front of me.
Yeah, eliminating Mario from the selection is kind of, or any platformers. I mean, that's kind of the bread and butter.
Yeah. Maybe some of the Virtual Console will interest you. A lot of those old NES, Super Nintendo, Genesis, and 64. There's GameCube now on there, so there's a lot of great stuff to check out. I don't know, man. Like, I'd have to look at my list, my library, I mean.
Yeah. I think, dude, honestly, the fact that he has Breath of the Wild and Tears of the Kingdom.
2 massive games that got huge improvements.
Huge improvements. So, yeah, I would say, honestly, not that you asked this question, but if you were out on Mario, then maybe Switch 2 is not going to be for you in the long term. But if you think you're going to be into Zelda, keep it and play those.
Well, he did say Donkey Kong, he might come in for that. Metroid, he thinks looks pretty cool. So you got to wait a little bit longer.
Yeah.
I mean, if you're going to want to play those games down the line, Switch 2 is probably not going to get any cheaper unless you just want to Switch Lite 2, which might come out in the future, or which will come out in the future in like a year or two, probably. I don't know. Maybe my advice to you would just be hold on to it. Unless money is very tight and you need to resell it or something like that. I would just hold on to it because stuff's going to start coming out more and more.
Right.
So I don't know. I like, honestly, if you haven't played Bravely Default, I like that game quite a bit. It just got a Switch 2 port. It was on 3DS originally. So maybe check that out.
Yeah.
But yeah, I would recommend holding on to it. Dustin, I accidentally duplicated a question twice.
Oh.
So what we can do is we could pull up the Patreon thread really quick and we'll just pick like a random question or two.
Pick a random question.
Yeah, we're just going to pick a random question. So,
dude, picking a question twice, amateur.
Dude, SGF, man.
We're fried.
We're fried. It's been a long week, dude. All right, 'cause we got a lot of write-ins too, man. Okay, hold on. Let's see here. Sorted out. There's a lot of sorted outs. Lots of sorted outs. Let's see here. Blessed Day Punching. Oh, this is from RK128. Blessed Day Punchy Summoners. Out of all the shows, which one was your favorite and least favorite? Have a, man, another year without Banjo 3 reveal kind of day. Favorite show.
Favorite show.
So we saw PlayStation, we saw Xbox, Keeley. There was the IO Interactive show, which is
we didn't talk about that.
Which is probably the worst. I mean, we could talk about it right now if you want to talk about it. So you went to this, I did not.
Yeah. The IO Interactive showcase. So basically what they did was after the Keeley birthday party SGF showcase, they, for the press people there, they bussed everybody all the way up to Hollywood, which took like at least an hour and a half.
Yeah, wow.
We got in there. They had drinks, which was nice. Then we go in this room, and then we saw the stream that you guys saw. And I was like, dude, IO, I love Hitman. Bond looks like it's going to be cool. Mind's Eye, they're going to show some more of that, which it's like, okay, I'll check out more of what they're showing. And then this event, they didn't even really announce anything. They were like, oh, Hitman is coming to iPhone. Like, oh, and we're working on multiplayer. So that was cool.
Yeah.
But no extra James Bond stuff. And they had like a panel that had Mads Mikkelsen because they're doing the elusive target thing.
Yeah, he's the Bond villain.
Right. But that was already announced at Summer Game Fest.
Yeah.
So it was like, why
are we doing
this?
Yeah.
Why are we here? So it was kind of funny. One really funny thing is that during one of the parts where they were showing Mind's Eye trailers to the stream, they had this dance group, which I was talking to someone about it. Apparently it's a famous dance group. I don't remember the name of it, but like they're doing this like dance routine where all the dancers had like light up outfits and stuff. And one of them had like an Iron Man suit on, and they had like one that kind of looked like Agent 47. While sitting there, I was sitting with Ray, Xbox Ready, and I was like, "What?
Yeah.
What is going on here?"
Ubisoft vibes.
Yeah, so real weird, but and also just kind of an awkward event. I'm sure that came through on the stream where it just felt like I don't want to say rushed, but no one felt comfortable on stage at this event. So a little weird. Best show. Probably the State of Play as far as like the conciseness of it, the amount of quality, good stuff in it. So SGF was the actual stream was like, there was a lot of cool, interesting stuff. There just weren't very many like big pop moments.
Yeah. It's hard for me to say because I haven't actually watched Xboxes, so I don't know for sure. But what I have seen, I would say State of Play. Yeah, was my favorite out of those. Let's see. This is from Neighbor. Just remember that before we start complaining about The Outer Worlds being $80, Microsoft lets you sub to Game Pass, beat the game, and get a full refund. I don't want to hear shit from anyone. Now, big dumb stupid idiot responded to him and said, "Oh, you're going to hear a bunch of shit talk. Nintendo fans have heard nonstop bitching for 2 months about Mario Kart World, and Sony hasn't dropped an $80 game yet."
They're going to.
They're going to, yeah, of course.
It's a matter of time.
Yeah, of course.
Yeah. we were talking in the car about this today, where Microsoft not that long ago was like, hey, this holiday we're going to release games at $80.
Mm-hmm.
And now they're doing it and everyone's like, surprised Pikachu
right, yeah.
face.
$80.
Like, what? So I don't know. I mean, no one wants to pay more money for games.
Right.
But like, this is the new reality.
Yeah.
This is the new, I mean,
I think it's just like the profile of the game, because people don't think of, it seems like to me, the Outer Worlds 2 being like crazy AAA banger production value.
Right.
No disrespect against the game or anything like that, but maybe if like people, it was like, hey, Gears E-Day is $80, maybe people are a little more understanding, but probably not actually.
Right. And he is right that it's like, if with Microsoft games, if you have an Xbox or a PC, you do have the option to get it on Game Pass.
Yeah, that's true.
You know, if you're a PS5 user, you don't have that option, but that's kind of what they're going for. They would like you to be a Game Pass subscriber.
Yeah.
So there are options. If you're only on PlayStation, it's $80, and it sucks to say it, but get used to it.
Yeah.
And I don't say get used to it, like get used to it and like it, because no one wants to pay more money, especially right now where everything is more expensive. But it's one of those things where you just have to accept the reality of the situation.
That's the way we're going kind of with things right now. But like they said, and what I've done and you've done, play it on Game Pass, unsub, get all your money back.
Yeah.
I'll do it again. I'll keep doing it.
And it's funny too. I think I said this on Sacred. That's like, I'm fine paying for a month sub, but they automatically refund it.
Yeah.
It's like, oh,
they're like, do you want to refund them?
Okay.
Like, sure. Why not?
Okay, Phil.
Sure, Phil.
I'll take the money. I'll take the money back.
You want to be like that? I'll happily oblige. All right, Dustin. That's it, dude.
That is it.
We're done. The Summer Game Fest special. Our week is over. Crazy running around in LA. Feels good.
Yeah.
But I'm tired.
Feels good. My flight leaves at like 9 tomorrow, so we got to wake up early because we
got to get you there in time.
We're in Irvine, so we got to go all the way to LAX. So not excited about that. But Brad, I had a great time this week.
Oh, good.
Thank you again.
Yeah, sure.
For your hospitality.
Absolutely.
And I'd love to do this again.
Yeah.
And recording in person it feels really different.
Yeah, it's super different.
When I mean, back in like recording with Handsome Phantom and stuff, it was all in person, and I got used to doing podcasts remote. And now it's the opposite, where I'm like, whoa, this is
like the Easy Allies days for me.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah. So definitely different. I hope you guys enjoyed it. A little different.
Yeah, I hope you enjoy it, because it's not going to happen for another year. So savor it.
Savor the in-person with all of its insanity. But yeah, I know I already did this twice now, but thank you to the audience.
Yeah, thank you guys.
Just because it feels really cool to go to these events. We're happy to be able to go and share with you guys. So we appreciate it.
Yeah, thank you, everybody. All right, Dustin, let's get the hell out of here. We'll see you guys next week. Take care, everybody. Thank you for watching, listening. We appreciate it. See ya. Summon Sign is a product of Last Stand Media and Collins Last Stand LLC and is proudly recorded in the USA. The show is written and hosted by me, Brad Ellis. The show is produced by Dustin Furman. All of Last Stand's theme music is by Ramon Narvaez. Summon Sign, along with the rest of Last Stand's media shows, are fan-funded on Patreon at patreon.com/laststandmedia. The following names are at the producer level on Patreon, our highest tier, and we are grateful for your kind contribution and generosity to our independent endeavor. Thank you.